Are we good? Hello? 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 Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello, everybody. Is everybody here? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around the world, hello and welcome to the hottest show in all the globe, right here on YouTube and every podcasting platform imaginable, The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited, wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed show for you today. My goodness, the stuff Mike came unplugged when I was moving all the cords around. I'm so sorry. We got a lot to cover on today. We got Teo and essentially him, Diddy Duck Haney, in this whole drama show with Devin Haney and Tito the fight going off. We're going to discuss all the details. Who walked away from the table? Is this a bigger instance of maybe Teo not wanting the more competitive or big name fights? And we may have been overlooking the level of competition that Teo has been trying to put himself in front of. Because it isn't just Devin Haney that also isn't getting in, or also isn't getting an opportunity because of Teo's own actions to not get in the ring to fight. There's another fighter we're going to talk about on the same show who also had an opportunity to fight against Teo. And Teo is the one that didn't want that to happen. We're going to discuss that and more. Also, we got Keyshawn Davis. Also, we got Juto Nakatani. We got Fabio Wardley. We got Jaya Patai. We got fights all happening this weekend. NBA Finals are here as well. The big kahuna, the end-all be-all, the greatest show on earth when it comes to the world of basketball. Who will be the newest crowned champion with two franchises who have been devoid of any title success, or one reaching a title, other one ain't been there in 25 years, in OKC and Indiana? We're going to have all that and more to talk about right here on the show. We appreciate all of you coming through. If you would, leave a like on the stream. Comment your thoughts and opinions as you see right now. Like with, again, let's do it the right way now. Oro, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Sergey, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Jay Will, I know you can't hear me. You can hear me now, hopefully. And we all good, so we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in. And hey, we back, we live. Thanks for all the support, all the emojis. We love it all. Keep on commenting. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know every time we post on this show. And share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Yes, indeed. We are growing fastly into one of the biggest sports media outlets in all of the globe. We're small, but we're mighty, and this community is the best that it can get. You can't get no better entertainment, no better insight, no better value for your time than right here on the show. At least that's what I'm trying to do to make it worth your while anyway. Hopefully it is. We'll see what the numbers show to whether or not it's working or not. But regardless of which, we're here, we locked in, we live. And since we got the boxing to talk about first and foremost, well, it is time to step into the ring. Oh, that's right. Ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of the show going underway. Oh, one more thing. At the end of the show, we got the championship rounds. When this banner comes up and you hear this sound again, then it's time for you to make the show your own and say whatever you want and talk about whatever you want to discuss for the last 30 minutes to potentially an hour, depending on how much activity is going to be in the chat. And you all will control the last segment of the show. But with all that being said, we got boxing covers. Let's jump right into it with the question of the day. Hey, did Teo duck? Did it happen? Is it here? Did we? That's the question. Because we now know that this fight is off. When I just on Tuesday said that it was on, I reported everything I knew, everything I thought that was valid. It seemed like all signs were pointing to that fight was going to be made next in August. We were excited. Next thing you know, bing, bang, boom. We all of a sudden see Teo say, ain't nothing but signed yet. And then we see Ring Magazine say, well, the negotiation talks have now fallen through with the likes of Teo versus Devin Haney, and that fight is now no more. So now everybody's asking the biggest question, how could this be? Why would this not happen? And who ruined this fight? And I would have to agree with RO. I would have to agree with RO. Brother, he ducked.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
He ducked.
We got some problems here.
He ducked. He definitely ducked. I have to say that because not just at the standard that we've given for other fighters. Again, we've had this conversation with Boots. We've had this conversation with Canelo. We've had this conversation with Tank. We've had this conversation with Fury. We've had this conversation of who ducks and who avoids fighters in the past before. There are certain instances where something isn't a duck. If you're chasing greatness, if you're going after a title, if you're moving up in weight, or if you're challenging still another game contender that is legitimately worthwhile. And there are barometers. Everything is in the duck. This, however, looks mighty close to one if I've ever seen it. And I gotta call it like I see it. If it quacks and if it swims, flaps, and acts as a duck does, the only thing we can say is it fits the bill. Nothing this brother, he didn't want to do it. We'll get into exactly why all this transpired. Let me see. Jay Will, what you got to say? I saw a report. Teo doesn't think he is going to get a fair shake in Saudi after disrespecting Turkey. And we're going to address all of this. This is a very stupid statement based on, again, the track record of what we know Turkey Al-Sheikh has been doing for the entirety of his run in boxing. Legitimately, real quick, let me see if I can fix my camera just for 1 second so I'm not looking sideways, sidetrack, and everything's looking good. There we go. We should be fine, hopefully. We're trying. I'm a one-man show. From the lighting to the audio, to as you can see, we're to the lighting to audio to video, all this stuff I'm doing it by myself. So hey, give me some grace. And so yeah, Al Booger, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. We appreciate your time right here. It's just crazy. Tia would be willing to fight Boots, in my opinion, more dangerous opponent, but duck Devin. And let's give everybody full context. So listen in close, because there's some stuff that you may not understand. This man was offered $11 million, roughly, just about $11 million from all reports I've seen, to fight against Devin Haney, roughly. Excuse me. It was a little bit less than 11. 11 is what he got for Boots. My apologies. He got offered $11 million for Boots. Boots didn't take the fight. Boots didn't take the fight because he was trying to defend the belt. And again, keeping to his word of trying to go after Undisputed. I understand. No problem. We've talked about that before. Hands are all good. Hands are clean. We move on. Then the negotiations happened for Teo versus Devin. Everybody got excited. Reports were that Teo got less money than he did for Boots Ennis going against Devin Haney. We discussed why that would be the case, and more so why it was on the side of Haney that brought down the value of that fight. We discussed it. Still, was a good chunk of change that would not be something that he would get skimped on when it comes to the value that that fight would be. Because we know how Turkey Al-Sheikh has been consistently working throughout this entirety framework in boxing in paying fighters for fights. Genuinely. We've covered this before. Now, when the money seemed to be there, the fight was right in the lap, and Devin Haney had already signed for that fight on the dotted line. Then Teo isn't signed. Teo doesn't sign. Teo says he ain't done nothing. And essentially leaves a mega fight on the table that, ironically enough, many people feel he would have won. Let's be real. Let's be real. There's a lot of people that felt Teo would have won that fight. And we were saying that was the catalyst that Teo needs to be able to bolster his name to the consistent star-studded levels, even objective to just being in the media because of, again, the rhetoric, the racism, and all that stuff that's been going on over the past couple weeks, months, if we're being completely honest. And we even applauded him because, hey, it worked to get him the big fight. But now he doesn't take the big fight when he wants to be put in situations for big fights. And he said he was playing the game to get what he felt he deserved. When we go back into this conversation of doesn't think he'll get a fair shake for disrespecting Turkey, let's not forget Shakur also had some words for Turkey. The Towel Boys, or whatever the word he called, which, again, for the culture, is incredibly, that ain't cool. It ain't cool. It wasn't cool. It was wrong. Absolutely. He apologized, got flack for it, worked with Turkey. Now he's working. Now he's fought Josh Padley. Now he's fighting William Zepeda, and now he's one fight away from fighting Tank Davis if he beats Zepeda. So I don't see what the won't get a fair shake is when, even with the track record of everything else we've seen with anybody that works with Turkey, have we not seen enough mega fights, potentially, or not potentially, have we not seen enough big fights get derailed because the judging was correct, the fighter that was favored actually lost, who was actually Turkey's guy, and they still moved forward with plans, and they adapted with the result. But nobody got skipped out on stuff that they weren't supposed to get, even if he was under the wing of Turki Al-Sheikh as one of his marquee fighters that he wants to push, promote, and have gone through to help make the sport better, and help make his Saudi or Riyadh season all more exciting. All of that has been shown that it don't work like that. At least under Turkey, it don't work like that. And again, I keep saying, I'm not trying to glaze anybody. I'm not trying to be somebody that is going and just being an apologist for the likes of any promoter. I don't care who you are. I care about what you do and your consistency of what you do. And is it good for the sport and for the boxers? Fans and the fighters. Is it right of what needs to be done? And with Turkey, it's been that way. Everything's been on the up and up. And everything has genuinely been what it's supposed to be. Now when we look at the likes of Teo, we're saying, brother, we thought you shot yourself in the foot. Then you go through and you actually get the opportunity. And then you go and you say, I'm not doing it. He ducked the fight. And again, Jay Will, you bring up a great point. He was willing to fight Boots, go up to 147, but he won't fight Devin Haney. Ironically enough, from what I read and from what I've understood, this fight was going to be at a catch weight of 145. Devin Haney wanted that fight to be at 147, ironically enough. From what I've read and what I know. If I'm wrong, please enlighten me. But what I got right now with everything I've been able to cover, with everybody's been reporting on the situation, Devin signed, he wanted it at 147. Teo wanted it at 140. It got agreed upon for 145. And it seemed like, okay, we're good. Everything's all set and ready. And now, it really doesn't make any sense. And it really does make us seem like he is ducking the fight. I read the same thing. So we're on the same page. So I'm not just doing this, pulling stuff out of thin air. This is everything I've been able to corroborate as resourcefully as possible with people that got tenure and are actually close to the situation. This is exactly what we didn't want Teo to do. And honestly, this makes him look really bad because this, again, is a duck. There's no question about it. He ran from the fight. He ran from the opportunity. He did not take, especially a fight that he should. I keep saying he can beat him. I keep saying he can beat him. I keep saying he is Devin Haney's worst opponent because he can keep up with the likes of Haney. And Haney at this stage is scared to throw. If anybody's got a semblance of actual power or a level of good offensive ability, he does not want to engage. Teo can force him to. And he's, in my opinion, all around a better boxer than Devin Haney. He is. This isn't disrespect to Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a good boxer. Absolutely. But Teo is better. And got better power. And is better athletically. And can be more physical. Especially at a higher weight. I don't understand. This just doesn't seem... This really is just frustrating because of the fact, like, you can't ask for what you want and then don't take it when it's given right in front of you. And you don't, just like I said with Tank, just like I said with Canelo, just like I said with Tyson Fury, same thing applies here. Why don't you want the test the best test right in front of you that's available? Especially when us as fans were saying, hey, we want to see you against all those people. Regardless of what you've done outside of the realm of the sport. In-ring talent, brother, you there. And you at the top. And we want to see all of that Four Kings era that was all at 135 fight against each other. Ryan, Devin, Teo, and Tank. Tank don't know what he's going to do. Well, no, he's fighting Lamont Welch, excuse me. But we don't even know if that'll ever happen at all. But at least at 140, 147, 145, whatever the world they're fighting at now, they're right around the mist. And they're right there to fight each other. The people that have been fighting everybody are Devin and Ryan. Regardless of result, Devin and Ryan, they at least have been going and signing the fights on their end, getting in the ring with the people that we want to see. We can't deny it. Ryan Garcia fought Rowley. He fought Campbell. He fought Haney. And then he fought Tank. Legitimate, respectable challenge that were at that point in time for at least for Campbell, at that point in time, was good. Tank is Tank. Devin was just recently, yes, PEDs and all, but he got in the ring. Devin Haney ain't ducked nobody. He ain't ducked nobody. He fought Linares. He fought Lomachenko. He fought Kambosos twice when he had the titles in his own state. We can say what you want about him, about Kambosos not being a great fighter. I understand. But he fought him where he was in enemy territory and still did the same performance. Moves up, fight Regis Prograis, who at that point in time looked really good at the time that he fought him. And now recently he fought Ryan Garcia. We want to, even regardless of the last performance, he doesn't avoid comp. We can at least say that. Teo now looks like he's avoiding competition. And it's very interesting because in the next segment, because we need to talk about another fighter on this show. Seems like he avoided that brother too. And he was going to get the same money for this other brother that he was going to get for the likes of Boots Ennis. And yet he didn't fight him. We're going to get into that later on. Trust and believe, because when I learned that, shed some new light on the situation. But let me see what you all have to say. I actually thought Teo ducked Haney before when instead of going for Undisputed versus Haney, he chose Kambosos. That backfire. That's a good argument. It's not a bad argument. It really ain't a bad. I'm surprised that fight didn't go ahead and take place. Genuine. That would have been a mega huge fight. Mega huge fight. The only thing I can think of was Teo thought it was going to be an easy payday with the Australian market being heavily behind the likes of Kambosos, fighting down in Australia. It would have been, oh my gosh, I'm going to make a lot of money and do it with ease. That's the only thing. But it ain't a bad sentiment to say, hey, yeah, he avoided him then too. And we got to hold the same standard. If we call out Tank for ducking, if we call out Canelo for ducking, for these same types of negotiation tactics and actions, this is a duck in the fullest extent. In the fullest extent. Because this is one of the fights that if you ain't getting boots, fight Haney. That's literally what we wanted. And he's a champion. So go get a belt and beat a top fighter right in your domain. So make this sense. Let me see. Albert Real, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you coming on for today. Leave a like on the stream if you're here. Keep on commenting and chatting. Subscribe if you ain't already. And share the show with everybody that you can and bring them on in to the channel. But let me see. And Teo ain't ducking. It's Teo Promoters that makes those calls. But the reason why is what would Bill do to Teo if Son lost? I mean, like... I don't know what Bill will probably. I don't know what Bill Haney would do if I don't know what he would do. That brother at this point in time, he's unpredictable. He's in a good and bad way because he is must see TV. You can't lie. I'll tell you what, if he did lose to Teo, oh shoot, Bill will go on a tangent. If he won against Teo, Bill will go on a bigger tangent. Just the fact of Bill Haney and Teo's father going at it for months to weeks on end in the press conferences over social media, if this fight had actually gotten made, it would have been entertainment by itself. Shoot, we would have been saying, hey, let's make that the co-main event. Father versus father, the son versus son. We make that happen. But it's I get it. I do. But at the same time, one, I'm trying to remember if Teo is a free agent currently or if he signed with a particular promotion for multiple, odd years outside of, I believe, being under that turkey banner. Again, not as much with the specifics of contracts. Others know more than that than me. What I do know is Teo has had a lot of leverage in his career to choose what he does and doesn't do. So for this fight to be in front of him, And again, a fight that most fans are confident, pundits and experts are confident that Teo would be the favorite. Teo would be able to beat him. And especially with the ability of Devin Haney shown on display against Ramirez. And the lowering stock of Devin Haney off the backs of that performance. There's a better argument that Teo would be potentially the A-side or closer to that A-side realm for this fight. Hence, more control. Why wouldn't he take this opportunity? Especially if it's at a weight that he already wanted to move up to, which was 147. If he's fighting at 145, he beats Haney. Perfect fight to not just get you accommodated to the weight, but to set up a fight for boots that you ultimately do want. And you have more leverage to push that fight to actually make it happen because, I beat one of the bigger names in all of boxing. Now, Boots, you next. There's a lot of leverage that comes from if you take this fight. There is. And with all the talk that Teo talks, it seems out of his nature not to take this. But also, at the same time, in his nature, if we're now looking back through history with what he's done throughout the whole of the time. Let's see. Coach Eddie, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. We appreciate you coming up on and taking time out to listen to what we got to say. Humble little old me. We appreciate all your thoughts. Keep on liking the stream. Keep on commenting. Teo, it's super weak. Teo, right now, looks incredibly bad. He looks so bad. And it's frustrating. And here's something that you need to recognize. Let me show you. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick to give you some context. The next topic of the show we need to talk about is Keyshawn Davis. But before we get to Keyshawn in the weekend fight with De Los Santos, Keyshawn perfectly blends into what this whole diatribe is with what's going on now with Teofimo and Devin Haney. Just give me a second to make sure I pull it up correctly. Hold on. Give me a minute. Everybody stay put. We still got a whole bunch of show to do. Wait a minute, let me make sure this is right. Let me make sure this is the right video. Because if it ain't, I'm going to look like a fool. I ain't trying to look like a fool. So, let me make sure this is the one. Yeah, this is, yeah. Mm-hmm. This is Teo. Recently, he was on Cigar Talk. If you got to see that, I believe it was Cigar Talk. If you got to see that interview that he did. And he talks about the fight with, not only does he go through his career, talks about Tank as well, which we're also going to touch on. Teo versus Tank or not Teo. Keyshawn touches on Tank in the interview as well, which we're going to talk about also when he discusses Tank in his position, why he moves the way he moves, and why he understands it. Is that valid or is it not? His perception of how Tank's career currently is going through. We're going to discuss all that. But before that, he talked about Teo as well in a fight that he was going to get with Teofimo Lopez earlier. And there was a common denominator in the midst for who was in the room to make that fight potentially happen. But let me see real quick. Yeah, Teo was hiding something because who turns down $11 million and Teo never made that much in any fight? Exactly. Something is going on that we don't know. Potentially. And again, this isn't like Turkey Al Sheik blackballing the dude from making this fight happen. Because after the apology, brother, like 2 days later, literally a day after I made my episode on why this fight fell apart with Devin Haney in the first place, because she was being disrespectful. The fight all of a sudden got bubbled up. Hey, it's happening with a date and everything. So he again, we gave him a credit because we said, oh my gosh, all that rah-rah that you talk, all the disrespectful stuff, it worked. So hey, my goodness, you did play the game. Even though I don't like the game, you played the game and it worked out. We gave you that credit. And now when you're in the midst of what you wanted, you don't get it. This is something fishy with him. This is more so him. I'm not putting this on his promoters. I'm not putting this on managing artists. I'm putting this on him because of how he has moved and how he has dictated the pace of what his career has been throughout his entire career. He's the one that took a stand against Bob Arum and Top Rank. He's the one that demanded what he was worth to get paid what he deserved. He's the one that's been out and out. He's the one that has been out and out eccentric on what his value is as a fighter. Now he gets it, and he doesn't take it. There is some concern. But let me pull up this interview with Keyshawn Davis real quick to give you a better perspective on this whole conversation and to paint a picture. Again, Keyshawn, cigar talk, many things they discussed, but he talked about how when he also got an opportunity to fight against Teofimo Lopez. I'm gonna let you play. I'm gonna let you hear the whole thing and understand exactly what happened. Now, let me make sure the volume's right. I don't want to be too loud.
Me, my advisor, my lawyer, Turkey, and his people. It's really about eight, 9 of us. And we were in this room, we just talking boxing, but it's really kind of based around me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Long story short, he just asked me like, yo, Key, who would you like to fight?
Yeah. Who you said? What's the first name you said, nigga? Who was the first name?
T.O.
Yo,
T.O.
Oh, we need
I
that.
said T.O. gang. Well, I
Yeah.
said 3 other people. I said T.O., Isaac Cruz,
Yep.
and I said one more person. I forgot who the other person was, honestly. When I said T.O., his eyes lit up. He's like, you want to fight T.O.?
Oh.
You want to fight T.O.? You want to fight
Yeah.
T.O.? So, boom. I'm like, he said, you want to fight T.O.? I fight T.O.? I'm like, yes, I'm going to fight T.O. Like, he trying to see if I'm dead serious. I'm like, yes, I'm going to fight T.O. You know what I'm saying? He said, call T.O. Put him on the phone. Call T.O.
Oh, shit. I like Turkey. I like how this nigga moving. Yeah, I told him.
Yeah, right?
I
So,
like that.
he calling and shit, right? Man, I couldn't believe this shit myself, right? So I hit him with, he don't know I'm there. So Turkey like, yo, Key, I got somebody. No, I'm not Key. He said, yo, T.O., I got somebody here that said that'll whoop your ass. The next great. T.O. like, all right, okay, we'll put him on the phone. Who is he? Let me see him.
Woo.
He don't know it's me though, right?
Right.
So he go from smiling when I see him, he go from smiling to it's no lie, gang. So I'm like, yeah, I told you I was gonna meet you right here, right? Told you I was gonna meet you right here, right? Then I was like, he was just looking like, man, what you mean? What you mean? I said, yeah, you got no choice but to fight me now. What's up? You got no choice but to fight me.
Yeah.
He said, I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I always got a choice. Bitch ass. Right? So I'm like, so Turkey snatched the phone away from me, and he let me see how I'm gonna word this. He like, yo, T.O., Keyshawn, fight Keyshawn, fight
Like,
Keyshawn.
he hyped it, like, okay.
T.O. say, no, Turkey, you promised me boots. What about the boots fight?
Damn.
Turkey say, what about the boots fight? You got Keyshawn want to
Right
fight
here.
you right here. He said, no. T.O. said, no, you promised me boots, man. Boots. Everybody in that room was like,
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
for the same bread,
Oh,
gang. The
that's
same
crazy.
bread you gonna
Oh, the
fight.
same bread.
Nigga,
I get it.
yes. The same bread he's gonna take for boots. He was like, Turkey was like, fight Keyshawn. He's right here.
Yeah.
Just give me whatever.
So you think he ducking then for real? That's ducking then.
That's scared. That's fuck ducking. That's literally, you're scared to fight me, bro.
Yeah.
My gosh,
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here. We got some problems here.
my goodness. Do you see the full picture now? This, and again, for those of you just tuning in, just play the video of Keyshawn Davis coming through and talking about his own experience in potentially getting a fight with T.O. T.O. called this, but Keyshawn told Turkey to his face he wanted to fight Teofimo Lopez. Turkey got on the phone immediately, called T.O., make this fight happen. He rooted for this fight to go and take place. He was going to give T.O. the same money that he was going to give him for boots for Keyshawn Davis. Mind you, Boots was still in limbo of whether or not he was going to, 1, move up, or 2, even stay at 147, or 3, even go through and take that fight, or just stay and be consistent. He got put on the spot. You get 11 million, same price for a fight against a fighter that has said he wants you now. We can make this happen. And T.O. continued to not take it. Turkey said it best, brother, what about Boots when Keyshawn is right here? Boots ain't decided on nothing. I'll give you the same money to fight this cat who actually wants to fight you right now, who is not indecisive, who's not splitting hairs on what to do with his career at this point in time. But I'm the champ. I can do what I want. You see, and guess who we've heard say that same rhetoric before? Who have we said do that same thing before? Who have we said, who have we continued to hear that same word and verbiage from? Two fighters, Tank and Canelo. And it was a problem with them, wasn't it? Because you can't be a champ and not move like a champ. Because then, like Keyshawn said best, that's scared. That is ducking. That is you not wanting competition. You are digging your own hole for what your career is. And you're actively avoiding comp. This is the problem. This man ran twice now from opportunities that would have helped propel him and that would have been so good just as a fight in and of itself and made sense as a whole, and would have forced you to have to back up everything he's been saying about how good he is, would have forced him to back up what I've been saying about him, which is that I think he's the best at 140 right now from a whole talent perspective. But guess what? We have been saying it on the show, brother, it's find out season. You got to put up or shut up when it comes to what you do in this new era in boxing where everybody is not as good as they say they are up until they prove that they are as good as they say they are. Unless you show your talent against people that can actually test your talent, you ain't as good as you say that you are. Unless you got yourself an actual track record against people that can actually push you. That's what we want. It's the reason why all these matches have been ending in upsets. Oh my gosh, I can't believe XYZ lost XYZ. I can't believe Ryan lost to Rolly. I can't believe Wilder lost to Parker. I can't believe Usyk lost to Fury. Or excuse me, Fury lost to Usyk, my apologies. I can't believe Joshua lost to Daniel Dubois. All these fights are because you are being tested against people that are actually going to push you to be something or not be something. Okay, they're playing versus Rescindes. You're going to find out how good you really are. That point blank period. This is the issue that Tio is going through, that he's not trying to get those litmus tests. When you hear somebody say, I can do what I want, 9 times out of 10, that means they don't want to do the stuff that will validate what they are. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to do what would show them to be a real champion in the eyes of the public by fighting the people that would make your resume, your status, and your skills all pass the seal of approval. All pass the eye test and the litmus test for what you are as a boxer, as a fighter, as an athlete. That is what all this is. And Tio's running away from it. And as we just saw, he avoided the fight with Keyshawn. Jay Will brought up a good point. He potentially avoided the fight with Devin Haney early on to fight against Kambosos. Back at what, 130, 135? The early days of 135? Mind you, this was after the Lomachenko win. And so I don't get why this would make any sense at all. This is potentially 3 big fights. 2 of them being Devin Haney at 135 and now at 145, 147, depending on what catch weight was negotiated with. And then with Keyshawn, that he should have been already in the ring with, that we should be looking forward to. That should have been a no nonsense, make it happen. Keyshawn's stock was on the rise. Teofimo Lopez had just won off the backs of his win in New York. Made sense. Keyshawn just became a champion. Beat Berinchik. Point blank period. Everything's all well and good. Now, not happening. This is the issue. Tio, you took what would be considered less comp and still didn't take the fight. You took a fight with Keyshawn that would have been a great fight. That was same money, with less talent as an opposition versus if you fought against Boots, again, for the same money, and you still didn't take that opportunity? What's the difference in Boots or Keyshawn? Boots may have a bigger star power right now, understandable, but the fight wouldn't be nearly as competitive, one. Two, for a more competitive fight, closer to where you are right now, with a fighter that is also on the rise and is good enough to push you as well, in Keyshawn Davis, it made sense to make that fight, and you're making the same money in a more winnable situation, and you still don't take that opportunity. And now with Devin Haney, you not taking this fight, which of all 3 fights is the easiest fight to make, no question about it, and the easiest fight for you to win, in my estimation, and you don't take that as well, when even if the price that you would have gotten was lower than Boots in the Keyshawn fight, it still would have been around that 8-9 million mark, almost assuredly, at worst 7, and that's still just about more than you've ever made in any one fight, comfortably. And that would set you up for potentially a consistent level of 11 to $15 million fights for any other fight that you face off against in terms of with real contenders. I don't see what the problem is. The problem is the common denominator, is you. It's ironic that Turkey's in the room when all this stuff is going on. But the common denominator, Turkey will make the fight, the other fighter will want to fight, and then you back away because you don't want the smoke. It's a shame. It's not right, shame. Again, I want to hear from you all how you feel about all of this stuff, because it like we said, Albert Real, if something else is going on, I understand. Maybe that's the case. I can't envision what's going on. There's no injury from what I know. There's no outside issues that are keeping him out the ring from what I know. The money seems fair, if not generous. And also, the opportunity is the very thing that Tio has been rah-rah, all belligerently yelling about consistently for the past couple years. Give me my worth. It's a problem because you don't want the smoke that you asked for now. You literally said that you did all of this stuff to get yourself in a position to get the big fights. You get 3 of them. You get we count 3 of them. 2 with Haney. Again, early 135 days when he fought Kambosos instead of Haney. And then now with Devin Haney. Now with Keyshawn Davis, and you still don't take it. I don't understand. I don't. I really don't. It makes no sense to me. And I'm just, you're messing up. You're messing up and you know it. You're a duck. Just like Canelo, you're a duck. Just like with Tank, you're a duck. Just like with Fury, you're a duck. You don't walk away from that. You don't. You can't. You shouldn't. Especially not at this position. At this point in your career. Who you gonna fight now? Who are you trying to wait out now? That's the real question. Who are you trying to wait out now? If this isn't good enough, if Keyshawn ain't good enough for you, if if Haney is not good enough for you, if Boots has said, I don't want that fight, and I'm staying at 147 and defend and get unified, get undisputed, who is it that you're looking for? Ryan Garcia, he's out with injury. Got his hand worked on, and then also potentially going to get his shoulder worked on in the next couple weeks or months. So we don't know how long he's going to be out. Do you want to fight Rolly Romero? I get it, upset, but that ain't for where you are in your career right now. That's not a fight that I would think that you should be looking and pining towards. Are you trying to do? I don't get it. You say, are you waiting for Tank? Is that what you're waiting on? Tank to somehow say, yep, I'm moving up to 140? And I'm gonna make it do what it do? Or I'm ready to chase legacy now? T.O., come at me? Is that what you're waiting on? I don't get it. I really don't, because everything seems to show you just don't want the work. You just don't want the work, Seaman. And it's a crying shame. It really is a crying shame. And it's so frustrating. Again, I want to hear from you. Whatever your thoughts and opinions are for all of this, keep on chatting, because this is really a question for you all. Do you think that this is T.O. trying to avoid competition and genuinely being scared of being tested against the best of the best? Or do you think that he is actually trying to plan for some big brain scheme that, we just don't see the cards yet? Because this is supposed to be a magic trick to make him pull a mega fight out of his hat. But right now, you're being a terrible magician. Because we see your tricks. We see how the thing works. And it's falling apart. Not only do we know what the trick is, it's falling apart before our eyes. And it's like, this brother ain't really about it. It's so frustrating. For sure. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. We appreciate it. I'm happy that you're here. He's just wasting everybody's time. Tired of his mess. I completely understand. I almost forgot. Apologies for the language in the video. No, we keep this. It's a. I know we're trying to be sponsor friendly. We're trying to be sponsor friendly. So I'm trying to. I forgot to give a disclaimer. There may be some strong language in that video. I apologize for it. Normally we keep it as clean as we can for what we show. So I forgot to say that initially. My apologies. Viewer discretion is advised for some of the verbiage. But regardless of what the point got across of what got said with Keyshawn and all that stuff. But no, you're right for sure. He's wasting everybody's time. He's wasting his own time. See, and last thing, we're gonna move on. We are going to move on. The last thing with T.O. T.O. is falling into the very trap that I've been saying for the past 2 weeks is going to hurt his career. Do you all now see more and more what I was talking about when I've consistently said that Teofimo Lopez is going to sabotage his own career by his own actions? This is why I kept saying it's bigger than the racist rhetoric. It's bigger than any monkey can grab the banana. It's bigger than taking claim for the watermelon and banana box that got sent to Keyshawn Davis. It's bigger than calling Terrence Crawford the hard ER twice on multiple occasions and then pucking out in front of Crawford to his face. It is bigger than all the stuff he has said online. It is bigger than what he has even said to Turkey Al-Sheikh. It is bigger than all of that. This is a career killer. These are signs of bigger things that T.O. continually is messing his own self up with. All of this collectively is leading to what we're seeing right now. He feels he's untouchable. He feels he's bigger than what he actually is. And he feels he can't be controlled by anybody. Hence, he is not going. I'm not saying he's not going with the planned program. No, that's not the right choice of words in this situation. He is trying to go against the grain when the grain is actually what we want for his career. He's trying to go left and he needs to go right. He's trying to go left. I almost lost my direction. He's trying to go left when he needs to go right. But he's trying to say, oh no, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go my own way. But we're trying to tell him, brother, you can get there quicker if you go this way. And you ain't following rules. You ain't submitting to the powers that be. Oh, you a puppet. You ain't doing that. You're giving yourself a clean out for where your position is as a fighter to get easily on the open road where you have ultimate control with everything Just go through these 3 interstates and you clean. You good. We're trying to help him go to where would be better for his career. And he continually shoots himself and anybody else around him in the foot. This ain't just affecting him. His family is losing money because of his antics. His father losing money because he's not getting the back end of what would have been mega paydays if he just took these fights. He's hurting his own legacy by not going after the people that actually would bolster his resume as a fighter with all the ups and downs that he's had in his career. He's still got some very great names on his resume, like with Lomachenko. And also, if you didn't know, Lomachenko's officially retired. He's done. The Matrix has officially been shut down, and he's gone. Phenomenal career, 326-1 in the amateurs, 22-3 in the pros. Honestly, should be 22-1 because there's a couple fights that he was honestly, I feel he was robbed of, he won that he shouldn't have lost. So really, it should be 24-1. But regardless of which, phenomenal career. One of the best savants in boxing history as a technical magician. Had made 4 people quit back to back who were former champions. Was one of the most beautiful entities that you will ever see in the sport. Absolutely. No question about it. I just wish his career was longer. But you have him. You got, shoot, hold on. Let me, before I start studying, I don't know why I'm blanking because I put it in my notes. Hold on. I put it in my notes. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up so I'm not acting crazy. Yeah, he's got Richard Coleman. He's got Lomachenko. He's got Kambosos. He's got Josh Taylor. He's got Jermaine Ortiz. Even with it being, again, highly disputed, understandably. But this is a brother who, his resume is not bad. It really is not bad. Genuine. And he has been able to recover from what he was when he was at his lowest. The only problem is this man is continuing. Now that he's at, the Teo that we knew, and the Teo we recognize, Gordo Lopez. The Teo that has everything that we want in a boxer. He is now, instead of in-ring sabotaging what he is, outside of the ring, not even giving him a chance to show it against the best of the best. And it's like, it is a waste of time. As for show, eloquently put, it is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And I guarantee you, he's going to regret it. I promise you. Mark my words, this brother will regret all of these decisions because he will sooner or later understand that, yeah, you're living off the money that you made from Barbosa. Understand it. You're living off of it. But also, you are, when the fire was hot, you didn't take the chance to go and get what you should have gotten, what you deserved. And now, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it in the worst way. In the worst way. Again, I'm telling you, I told you all, this man was going to bite him in the butt one way or another. And lo and behold, it happened. T.O. Pops is a wild card, which doesn't help anything. And it's like, again, this is beyond family. Like I said earlier, I can't put this on promoters. I can't put this on managers. I can't put this on his dad. Though we know his dad also has been, like with Bill Haney, very much a volatile figure in the sport. But I can't put this on him. This is on Tia. This is on Tia. Because, again, perfect example. Jared Anderson, by his own managers, was saying, hey, don't take the fight with Bacoli. But he said, no, I want the fight with Bacoli, and made the fight with Bacoli. He lost. He took the test, though, which I applaud. But the point is, he dictated what he wanted to do. When the opportunity came up and said, hey, let's do it, he did it. Brother Tio, at this point in time, with back-to-back fights that seemingly should have been already made, just went and did nothing. Like what? He literally has stood up to Bob Arum, and Big Cat said, I'm a free agent. Give me $100 million. Do what I want, or I ain't fighting at all. Stuck to it up until he got the deal, up until he got what he wanted, and then everything's all well and good. So like he's done this before and gotten his way. What is it that makes this different when in this situation, you didn't have to work, you didn't have to boycott, you didn't have to go on a campaign, you didn't have to go and try to blow your way through the competition from the standpoint of, I got to fight every single promoter to get what I feel I deserve and play the field. It was right there in front of you, and you still, when the easiest route to a major fight, you did not take. Boots said no. Fine. Keyshawn, $11 million. Same money as Boots. You still didn't take it. Devin Haney, roughly $8 to $9 million. Most likely, maybe lower to 7 for in terms of how much money you would have made. Still, most you would have made in your career. Right there. He already agreed to a weight class that you already wanted to go to, which was 147. Welterweight. A catchweight at 145. And he's an opponent, like I said, you would have been able to beat easily, in my humble estimation. But you didn't take it. I don't know what to say except for you are holding yourself back, and it's ludicrous and it's stupid because you think you're bigger. You think you're bigger than the game, and you're not. You're not. It's so frustrating because we see just the stupidity. It's stupidity. That's what it is. It's stupidity. There's literally nothing else to say. It is stupidity. I want to move on. I really do. I really do. But I got to say this. It's stupidity. It is stupid to think that you got this level of pull as if you're Canelo. Some people, actually, hold on, before I continue, let me look at the chat below. Joshua Cortez, thanks for tuning into the show. Hey, how you doing? Good to see us. Glad that you're here. Hopefully you're liking what we got going on right now on the Welch. Well, appreciate you tuning in to the show. Let me see what you got to say. Current lineal champ, can't discredit that regardless of the racist answers. And again, this is even further in my point. Nothing I've done discredits what he has already achieved. He's a lineal champion. It's disputed on whether or not he should be an undisputed champ. He should be seen as an undisputed champ. But what the WBC with the belt, what the WBC did with the belt that messed up the stuff a little bit, it's a whole issue and problem. But like we know how good he is. He asked to be put in positions to show the best of him against the best of the best and get paid what he's worth. Within 2 days, I've learned that he got both of those things on 2 separate occasions, back to back, and he didn't take either opportunity. I don't know what's going on unless the only consistent thing that we have seen with other fighters that take this same approach, standpoint, and level in going out and ducking in this manner is that they don't want smoke with the top in their division or the top competition. And they want the same type of sentiment, or they want the same type of throughway in a career that they see Tank doing now, which is, I don't have to fight top guys to be a top guy. You see what I'm saying? And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And it's an issue. So we don't discredit what the career is. We call out the racist stuff, no question. We call out the hateful stuff that he was saying. We call out all that because that's wrong. That's a game that you don't need to play. We've covered that multiple occasions on this show. So you're absolutely right. But we're not going to discredit what you do in the ring. What we do discredit is how you act going forward with what we know your career has been. You're contradicting what you said that you were. You're going against what you said that you were about. And that's the problem. It's a big issue. Tio and Ryan are pathetic. And it's like, again, Ryan, PEDs and all that stuff, I get the ire. I completely understand it. At least we can say that when he wants a fight, he makes the fight. And he doesn't duck the smoke from anybody as a big name or small name. If you're about it, he wants to get it back in the ring with you, or get in the ring with you at all. He's one of the only people that have fought 2 of the 4 kings in the boxing landscape. Him and Devin Haney have fought each other and Devin fought Loma. Ryan fought Tank. Devin was signed with Teo. Teo didn't sign with him. But those two, for all the stuff that we've said about them, which is justified and still true, they at least always take the opportunity to show or prove what they say that they are against people that are actually good. We can at least say that. Now with Teo, I don't know when the buck stopped with that, but it stopped. At least right now. And it seems like it's stupid. As to why? Because you're not getting any better fights than these two that you were offered. And so it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Let me see. Haney was undisputed Haney was undisputed and has a bet at 140. And it's like, again, the accolades and resumes are exactly why this is such a big deal. Because we already know you're great. You can't avoid greatness when you're great. You shouldn't be afforded that opportunity. Because now you are the standard. You are the bar. You are what people want to fight for. They want your spot. You can't avoid you defending your spot. You can't, and you shouldn't, especially at this level. It's so frustrating. Let me see. So are we saying Boots duck Teo and Teo duck Devin? So let me see. Actually, that's actually really, really good question. Teo never wanted to fight Devin Haney since 2019 at 135, so he knows in his heart of hearts he'll lose to Devin Simple. And it's like, at this point, I gotta take that with some level of that might be valid. Again, I really believe that Teo would handle Devin Haney. Because Teo, as a fighter, is a wholehearted better fighter. Throughout their entire careers, I've always felt that Teo is a better fighter. Genuine. When Devin got to 140, then I was like, oh shoot, wait a minute. When he beat Progress, knocked him down on stuff, okay, tide started shifting a little bit. But for the most part, I've always felt that Teo is a better fighter than Devin Haney. For a long time. So I really feel that he would beat him. But this ain't a bad sentiment to say, maybe this buddy doesn't think he can do it. But it goes beyond just with Devin. If it's with Keyshawn, but not with Boots, maybe he thinks that he'll just get the most notoriety with Boots. Again, cash out. He might get beat, but he'll get the pay that he deserves. And then boom, you move on. And it's like, it's a Jermaine Ortiz flashback for Teo. Potentially. And it's all these questions swirl. All because Teo went against all the mess that he discussed about what he was as a fighter. He can do what he wants. He's a champion, but he's the best, and he can beat everybody. But now when he's got an opportunity to beat everybody, he doesn't want to fight him. That's really where this goes down. Now, J. Will, this point, are we saying Boots duck Teo and Teo duck Devin? I think we covered this before, but for people that are new, let me paint the picture from my opinion. I didn't say Boots duck Teo because Boots stayed to his word of wanting to of wanting to unify his belts and become undisputed at 147. His whole thing was, I'm not fighting, from what I know, I'm not fighting Teofimo Lopez, who doesn't have a belt and who's coming up, when my goal is to fight for undisputed and move up to 154, become undisputed, move up to 160, become undisputed, move up to 168, become undisputed. We even got on him for not fighting Virgil Ortiz. Remember that? Yo, you remember that? We got on him for that. And I said the only valid reason that we would ever be like, okay, if you're not going to fight Virgil, you better become undisputed. Because there's no reason why you said you needed to move up to 154 and you didn't move up to 154 after the Sugar John fight. We watched that fight. There was no reason. But you said that the only reason why you were staying was because you wanted to become undisputed at 147. He then went on to fight and beat Stanionis. Great. Love it. Now he's unified. He goes through and he beats the likes of Barrios and or Pacquiao, depending on who wins that fight. Most likely Barrios, but depending on who wins that fight, he goes and beats Barrios, for his belt, and then he goes, who's the other champion? Who's the other champion? Is it Brian Norman? Who's the other champ at 147? I know he is one of the marquee matchups that we all want to see fight Boots Ennis, absolutely. But at 140, the champion is who is it? It's Ennis, Barrios. Ennis got 2, Barrios got 1. Who's got the other one? Doggone it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. If somebody's got it, please let me know. I'm trying to make sure I got my titles correct. So I'm not misspeaking on what I'm trying to say. Let me see. Bono. Okay, Bono. Okay, so it is Norman. Okay, yeah. So thank you. Okay, so it's Norman, Barrios, and Boots got 2. Boots only needs 2 more. The winner of Barrios and Pacquiao and Brian Norman Jr. So again, thank you very much, Jay Will, for helping me out. So he's got business. He keeps to his word. We don't call that a duck. We never said going after a title. We never called that a duck. You trying to go for undisputed? We never called that a duck. For not taking another fight, we don't do that. At least that's my stand. Now, if he became undisputed, or if Tio moved up into his division sooner, and most likely became a mandatory immediately, and didn't get the opportunity, like what we saw with Canelo, we called it a duck. If we see Boots fight at 147, but never move up to 154, and then start taking on bad competition, even as champ, contradicting his continued rise that he said he was going to do. And Tio is right there. And he still doesn't take the fight after doing what he said he was going to do. Now we call that a duck. Or at least after doing the first stage of what he said he was going to do, we got an argument for a duck. If he fails to continue with the path that he said he was only waiting for, we call it a duck, absolutely. So everything isn't a duck. And for this, it's not a duck. So Boots not fighting Tio is not Boots ducking Tio. Because Boots already said and is staying to what he said he was going to do. And the only reason why he was at 147. The only reason. Now I'm even giving it a pass is because he's trying to go for undisputed. And I'm all for that. Tio ducked Boots because Tio, this was the only fight to make if it wasn't Boots Ennis. And Boots said, I'm not fighting you because I'm going after undisputed. When Devin Haney had signed on the line to agree to terms at a weight class that you said you wanted to move up to, you then don't take it, it's a problem. And that's a duck. That's definitely a duck, in my estimation. Because everything lined up to where it was the fight that made sense. It was a big name. It fit the money that you wanted. It fit the cachet that you wanted. And it would have bolstered you to exactly where you said you wanted to be. And it was for a title. Don't forget, Devin Haney's still a champion. As much as we forget, he's still a champion. So this would have been for another belt. On your own rise to try to become undisputed in your own way. In your own vein. And could have led to bigger fights. Everything was all green for why this fight should be made. And you backed away from the table. For reasons that don't make sense. You weren't cheated. You weren't robbed of money. There's no need to be concerned about whether you'll get a fair shake in judging because of how the judging has been going throughout the entirety of Turkey's time being in this sport and putting these things together. When his own guys have lost. And the decision wasn't just given to them by proxy of being the likes of Turkey's man. Doesn't work like that. It hasn't worked like that. Up until this point, it hasn't been shown. Everything was all go, and you should have had this fight made. And you backed away for no good reason. There's no valid reason as to why. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. Maybe Tio is playing hardball for more money. Ryan got $20 million for the fight. Or Ryan got $20 million. Ryan got $20 million to fight Rolly. Tio is way more accomplished. Absolutely. You're right. We talked about in the past, because of Devin Haney's performance against Ramirez, this fight as a whole got devalued. Any fight that Devin Haney is in for his next fight loses depreciation strictly because Devin Haney is in the fight. Not because he's not accomplished, but because the fans don't want to see him. He, by proxy of his last performance, brings the value of the fight down by his presence alone. This is not me trying to be overly aggressive against him. This is the reality of the situation. The man won, and Ryan Garcia lost. Yet Devin Haney, at this point in time, is still getting more flack for his performance on that night. We are talking about a running rule that needs to be put in place so performances like Devin Haney and William Skull don't happen again. We are using Devin Haney as the face of that whole conversation. That is not good. And this brother won. People don't want to see this man. People don't like this man. Not as a villain, just as a fighter. They don't like him because they don't care about him. It's in wrestling terms, again, if Rusty Cage was here, we said this before. You got faces and heels, heroes and villains, fans cheer and boo. Now you have some villains in wrestling that people love to hate. Or if you watch TV, anime, movies, whatever thing, you got villains in shows that people love to hate. The Joker, he's so good, but he's a villain. He's despicable. Bane, love him, but he's despicable. But he's nuanced. He's a great villain. Doc Ock, Spider-Man, Hulk and Abomination. The Hulk himself, because sometimes he's a villain or anti-villain. Seen as a villain by the public, isn't really a villain, but that's a whole nother conversation. All these villains are endearing. They still draw interest. You want to see what they're going to do next. And then there's people, whether it's wrestling or in movies, TV shows, books, whatever, there's characters and villains that you don't want to exist because they add nothing or they just bring down the story or whatever show that you're watching. It doesn't work. In wrestling, we call it go away heat. There's heat. There's good heat and bad heat. Good heat, people boo you. Strong reaction, but they want to see you. Bad heat, they boo you. They don't want to see you. And they boo you because they want you off their screens so they don't have to see you again wrestle. They don't love to hate the character. They love or they hate the character. Period. There's no love behind it. There's no endearment behind it. It just go away. Stop showing up. We don't want you here at all. It's like an uninvited guest at the house. Like, get out. Leave. You're not fun. You're not excited. You're not endearing. You're bringing all of this down. It's better if you weren't here. That's the sentiment that we're getting with Devin Haney. And that sentiment has brought the value of that fight down. Because people aren't going to pay for a Devin Haney fight. They ain't going to pay for it. Not nearly as much as you may think. It'll still be big, but it won't be nearly as much of a big-time star as Devin Haney is. And he is a big star. He is lower on the totem pole exponentially because of that fight with Ramirez. No question. Hence why he's not going to get the $20 million that he got for the likes of that he would have gotten for, maybe a Ryan Garcia fight. Because Ryan Garcia is not Devin Haney. Thank the Lord. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord he is not Devin Haney. Oh my gosh. People want to at least see him. They don't want to see Devin. So it's harder to sell Devin. And hence, both fighters, the money on the table for you to get ain't going to be nearly as much. But because it's Turkey, it's still in the millions. And well more than anything else he would have gotten. So he's playing hardball, but his asking price is too high. He's playing hardball, but the value that he's asking for is not the value that he is currently in. If he wins this fight, then he can get that $20 million. Literally. He beats Haney. He gets the next fight, $20 million. Easy. Easy. As a champion too? Easy. With the fights he can make, whether it's Sabrina Matias, whether it's Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Isaac Cruz, doesn't matter. 20 million easy if he wins and beats Devin Haney. That's all he has to do. And he still makes great money. It's still great money. You ain't lacking in nothing. It would have been more than you made for the Barboza fight. Let's be real. It would have been exponentially more than you made for the Barboza fight, yet still you don't want this. Like, I understand negotiations, and I always want boxers to get what they deserve. But at the same time, you can't go about business in a bad way where you're overpricing yourself from what is actually the situation, especially when the price that you are getting for what you are as a fighter and for what the fight is more than fair. And if anything, it's the very thing to propel you to get to that number that you are actually looking for. Like it's a backwards way of trying to make yourself higher than you actually are. And in this case scenario, this ain't Canelo going to say, if you don't give me what I want for this contract with Turkey Al Sheikh, I'll go fight Jake Paul. Forget the Terrence Crawford fight. I'll go fight Jake Paul if you don't give me what I want. Because that fight would make bank. I'll do it easy. I'll do it right now. And guess what? It made sense. Give him some more. He's a big star. The fight that we're trying to get is going to be mega. We can't let Jake Paul take that from us. Make it happen. That's not what this is. Because that value ain't what we're dealing with. It ain't. And so he's shooting himself in the foot. Boots moving up to 154. Has he said that officially? I thought, from what I know right now, he was still fighting at 147, looking to be undisputed. If he's moving up already now, hey, fine. We'll see what happens. But I haven't heard anything official of him moving up. Brian Norman might go after Barrios if he beats Pac, but Pac might win. I heard that Mikey Garcia wants to fight Pac. Mikey, excuse me? Huh? Wait, huh? Wait, Mikey Garcia's back? Am I thinking of the right Mikey Garcia? Didn't he? Hold on. Wait a minute. Is he still fighting? Are we? Where's it at? Are we talking about this Mikey Garcia? Wait a minute. Are we talking about this Mikey Garcia? But who ain't fought since 2021? Who lost to he lost to Sandro Martinez trying to fight again? Shoot. I mean, if Pacquiao can't come back, hey, go for it. Do what you can. Absolutely. I did not. Wow. I did not know that. That is news to me. I did not know that if that does happen, shoot, it'll be an entertaining fight. If Pacquiao wins, period, the whole world turns upside down. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. Pacquiao actually wins this fight. But let me see. Actually, that'd be the rest of the comment, right? Barno might go after Barrios. If Norman goes after Barrios, I would enjoy that. Hold on 1 second. Give me one second. Real quick. I see something outside my window. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I just caught some. I'm trying to catch something. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this thing I've been trying to get for years. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to catch this bug for months. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, my bad. So sorry. I'm sorry. Woo! I'm so sorry. I did not mean to leave you out. I was trying, there was a, like a big old yellow jacket that had gotten in my room, and I've been trying to catch that thing for who knows how long, because I didn't want it to sting me. We got it, thank gosh. I was had to put a thing in my pocket and go out front and get it. I'm good now. We great. We're back. I'm so sorry, but look, I did not mean to leave you out. Let me make sure this door is shut. We good. We back. Okay, we back. We good. We okay. I'm so sorry. Thank y'all for staying for that very strange hiatus. I'm so sorry, but we back in business now. Let me keep on. What was I saying? If Barrios beats Pac and Norman fights Barrios, I got Barrios losing to Norman. Ultimately, I want to see Norman versus Boots. I need to make that fight happen at one way or another. It's one way or another. It's got to take place. But let me see. Angry Mexican, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Yo, how you doing? Like, you box, I'm looking for a tune-up. Well, you know what? I coach more than anything. But, you know, if you want to spar, I can throw down some stuff. Now, if you want to fight, hey, you might want to, pipe down a little bit. I don't want to end a career too early, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. I'm just messing with you. Oh, boy, but no, we all good. Tio, Diva, now we. Again, look, I ain't trying to get no fights with nobody. Just all jokes, all nothing but jokes. But yeah, but no. But Teo's Diva, I can understand that absolutely. Are you going to talk about the fights this weekend? Watch. Yep, absolutely. We're getting ready to do that right now. Oh, yo, Mole, what you doing? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. I appreciate you joining in on what we got going on. Listen, you like back footers. I appreciate people that can fight on the back foot and the front foot. I like come forward fighters, sure. Again, Eastside Cruz, one of my favorites. In a way, one of my favorites. Dubois, this Dubois, very much entertaining to see. Moses Atuma, how he's able to come forward and still be technical, but also be so destructive. I loved it. Absolutely. But I don't dislike people that can fight on the back foot. Even though Caleb Plant lost, I love to see how he boxes and moves. I don't mind. Like Shakur Stevenson, I love watching him from a technical perspective. Oh, he's great. And he can fight on the back foot. Fighting on the back foot, I've never hated it. I like front-footed fighters better, sure. But no, I love, if you can fight, I love fight on the back foot is a beauty. It's a beauty. If you know what you're doing, oh gosh, it's so beautiful to watch, genuinely. See somebody be able to go without needing to have forward momentum. Outbox, outwork, and outshine. Ali fought on the back foot a lot of times. He was dancing around the ring. But part of it was on the outside and being able to beat you with you coming forward and him able to get out the way and counter. Now, he could do both. He could do it all. Brawl, box, scrap, in-fight, out-fight. He could do it all. No question. Reason why he's called the greatest. But that was his main thing, and he's a beauty to watch. They said, I was watching Robert Garcia gym yesterday, and that's what Mikey was saying. Well, if that's the case, then shoot. Hey, more power to you. Let me see, 18 deep. Welch is go. Wait a second. Hold on a minute. How many? Wait a second. We got how much? Oh shoot! I didn't realize that. Wait, let me look at the numbers. I ain't even looking at the chat. Oh no, shoot, I have been looking at the chat. Let me look at the numbers as a whole. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, we did have 18 at one point in time. Shoot. Doggone it, it's right when I stepped out. Dang it. That stupid yellow jacket messed up when I could see us at the peak. We're going to get back to it, don't worry. But everybody who is here, leave a like on the stream. Since you're here, please do. This is what I was saying. The more likes you get, the more support and people come through the channel. Absolutely. We love it. We need it. We cherish it. Come on in. Sit right down. Have yourself a time right here on the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and every podcasting platform. Imagine the Welch Report. We love all of you and we need all of you to show up. But yeah, I told you, we're growing sooner rather than later. We're going to be growing. Next milestone's 30, then 50, then 100. Then we hitting 1,000. And then, showbiz, we coming for you. Championship, we coming for you. Oh yeah, we taking over. We taking over, baby. No question about it. Just kidding. I love all of those media spots. Love them absolutely. Go listen to them when you can. They're great. But let me see. That gym was live yesterday. I did not know that. Let's see. Best channel on YouTube. Jean is the real deal. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you for all the support. Toro. Wait a second. Toro, what's going on? Hey, yo, Toro. I almost forgot to say hi. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. We appreciate you coming on. Zachy, what's up with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Who was that standing in the doorway? It was me. That was me. I had to leave. Then I had to come back because I was trying to get a buck. I was trying to get a yellow jacket that had gotten in here, and I've been trying to get for a minute. And if I didn't stop and get it then, it was going to be lost again. And I wasn't having that. I ain't about to get stung. I tell you that right now. I ain't scared. But also, I ain't about to deal with no pain. I've seen somebody get stung before. I ain't having that happen to me. No, never. Never. I love the bees. Save the bees, no question. They're needed. Absolutely. But brother, you cross this domain. I'm like, call me Thomas Hearns. Brother, you come in my range. I'm getting it. No, it's you did in the water. No question. No question about it. Absolutely. But let me see. Let's see. Key is you can fight off the back foot, but also letting your own offense go. Absolutely. That's the thing. Back foot fighting ain't just about you being able to make your opponent chase you. You being able to still have great offense while being mobile. That's what makes it a beautiful thing. You keep them off balance while you are still dominating the fight. And you're still doing damage. Oh, it's incredible. It's phenomenal. Listen, I only fight off the back foot if the guy is twice my size. Understandable. Now, I would think that you would have to, work your way in to be able to, slip inside the punches. Maybe you might have to take a hit or two. But because of those long limbs and that, large body, you get inside, boom, 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 slip in before they're able to attack, uppercut, hook, shell up, use angles to try to go across the width of their body, make it so that boom, they can't track you. Now you're hitting them where they can't see them. But I can't stay outside. If I stay outside, I'm being in trouble. I'm a short fighter. I know what I am. I know what I am. So I got to do what I got to do. But I think boxers today lack the inside fighting ability of the older generation, and they do. Absolutely, they do. But we're gonna talk about that later on. Because yes, we still got to cover the rest of the show. Like with Keyshawn Davis and the fight this weekend. Hey, don't forget, we still got more fights coming with this weekend with Keyshawn Davis, with Junto Nakatani, with Fabio Wardley, and with the incomparable, the dominating, the ever-present, ever-destructive Jai Apatai, which is, again, another fighter who we're waiting on to fight with Ceruto. Let's not forget it. We know Benavidez wants to fight Ceruto and wanted to fight Ceruto at the cruiserweight. His words, not mine, rather his father's words, not mine. But, we will potentially be able to see down the line this brother go through and fight against the likes of Ceruto, potentially for a title, if he still has the title by the time Benavidez gets up there. But right now, the other dominant force in the division is fighting on the night. And so we're excited to see it. But first, let's cover with the fight that we all know we're here to see. The most talked about fight of this weekend, which is Keyshawn Davis versus De Los Santos. Now, when it came to De Los Santos versus Keyshawn Davis, I needed to go back and really look at how much this fight is going to weigh on Keyshawn from the standpoint of is he favored. We have to understand, we got people like Frank Martin now saying that Keyshawn's going to lose to the Santos. And the Santos may just have his number. Now, I thought initially, I don't believe that. But now there's some real concern that I got with Keyshawn going up against De Los Santos. And that is the trading war that can potentially come about. Specifically, when we saw De Los Santos fight against El Rayo, it was a prime example of a situation where if you do engage with that brother, this man is a twitchy fighter. Oh, he's twitchy. He's incredibly twitchy. This brother can get a shot off in a heartbeat, and it's powerful. It doesn't need a whole lot of leverage at all. This is a man who is indeed able to do some real destructive nature on anybody with not much leeway going after him. Because of that, when it comes to Keyshawn Davis, which we know he will trade, we know this brother will bang out with anybody. This brother will go for broke against people. He loves a war. He loves a fight. He's one of them ones in this new generation of boxing. No question. But because of that, going up against somebody as legitimately strong and as fast with his hands as De Los Santos, there's a real concern that if we see Keyshawn Davis get into some exchanges, he might lose some, at least initially. And that may be all that needs to happen for this fight to potentially go in a very dire situation. Because the real thing is, with Keyshawn Davis, when he gets caught, because I don't think it's going to be an if, I think it's going to be a win. When he gets caught by De Los Santos in one of those exchanges that are guaranteed to happen, what's going to be his response and adaptation to that elevated level of speed that he's facing off against? Because let's be real. He knocked out Lemos. Let's not forget at 168. Or excuse me, Lemos came into the fight at 168 pounds. And he knocked him out with ease. With incredible ease. In 2 rounds. Which is phenomenal. But at the same time, physically Lemos was scary. Speed-wise, not so much. This is the brother who got crack and got speed. And he's I believe a Cuban fighter. So he's also got that dance-like style that makes him so hard, not just to track, but to predict. Rigondeaux, same thing as well. This is the biggest litmus test that can be a real destructive force for the likes of Keyshawn Davis if he gets caught wrong and isn't able to compose himself. If he is, okay, we see him take it. But there's a real, look, man, Santos, that brother can crack. He can crack. And he can take a shot too. I'm serious. I think Keyshawn's going to win. I think he's going to catch him with an uppercut. I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to be an uppercut that puts De Los Santos out for good or starts the beginning of the end. But I'm so serious. Be on the lookout for that hand speed that De Los Santos brings to the table when they both go to trade. Because De Los Santos is underrated in his ability to do short but powerful shots before you get your punch off and beat you to the spot. That's where the real concern is going to be. But I think if everything bodes like I think it'll go, we'll see Keyshawn Davis get the knockout. But let me see which way I have to say. Keyshawn has the attributes and skills and power, unlike Shakur, who lacks power, and Tank, who is short in height and in reach. You're right. He's got the physical ability or the physical attributes to have the advantage in this fight and be able to control everything, both from the outside and from the inside if it gets there. But because of what I know about De Los Santos, it's going to be a tougher task than we may think. Because De Los Santos can close that gap of reach with his explosiveness, with his jab, or even just darting in on the inside. Oh, he can be dangerous, no question about it. Let's see, he didn't sleep El Rayo. The referee stopped it prematurely. He didn't sleep him, but hey, El Rayo was in a bad way. We can't lie. Even with was it premature? I can't say it was premature because of how much he was getting when he got rocked. It was bad when he got rocked. And so, again, I can look back at that fight and really better analyze it. I don't think it was a bad stoppage, but again, there's a debate that potentially can be had. I thought he was a good stoppage for me. But either way, De Los Santos is fast. He can move, and with expert timing, yep, that's the thing. The timing of De Los Santos is enough to make Keyshawn's reach obsolete. The biggest thing about Mike Tyson said it best: you don't need a long jab to have an effective jab. Timing is what makes anybody's jab effective. That's just one punch. Timing as a whole is what has made other greats so great that maybe aren't as fast. Big Bang Zhang at his best, timing. We've seen it. Ezra Charles, one of the greatest of all time, a master at trading and timing. What's his name? What's his name? Shoot. He just in the interview. We just talked about him. He beat Kovalev. He beat him again in a controversial fight. He won a Super 6 series. Andre Ward, that's what I was thinking of. Andre Ward, master at time. Master at time. Timing can heal all wounds. It genuinely can. Let's see, who is Cuban? I thought De Los Santos was Cuban. Let me make sure that I'm not. Let me make sure I'm not miscategorizing anybody's ethnicity. Good gosh, hopefully I'm not. I don't. Dominican, not Cuban. Dominican, my bad. Dominican. He fights in a Cuban-like style, but he's Dominican. My apologies. I equated the style to the person, and for a long time, and I thought he was indeed Cuban. My apologies. He's Dominican from the Dominican Republic. Completely understand. Either way, stylistically, he's a bad brother. He can give you a lot of problems. It wasn't just Shakur running because of the hand injury. He was genuinely trying to get away from that power. Because that power can be something serious, no question about it. But let me see. I expect Keyshawn to beat and stop Edwin and Abdullah to stop Nakatila. Both doing it more impressive than Shakur did. Yes. Wholeheartedly agree. That will have people buzzing a bit. No question. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if anything, Abdullah Mason been calling out Keyshawn Davis for a minute. Abdullah Mason, in fact, if I can pull it, while I'm talking, I'll try to see if I can pull it up. But Abdullah Mason wants Keyshawn Davis. If Abdullah Mason beats the likes of Nakatila, and we see Keyshawn handle his business, hey, we could see a title fight, if not next, be 2 fights down the road. Genuine. Oh, it can get incredibly interesting in the next couple months with how this all potentially can play out. And I'm excited for it. No question about it. I hate Keyshawn and Shakur friendship. And it's like, you get it. You know, Shakur helped Keyshawn get out of a bad place. And like, they're lifelong friends. And so I understand that they're not going to fight each other. Most likely. Now, again, it can happen. It can still happen. Absolutely. It can still take place. No question about it. So don't lose hope. But I understand why they're not fighting each other. And so I'm like, okay, I respect it. Like, I got to respect it because I get what they're coming from. He helped them in a bad spot. And you can't knock that. You can't. It's a lasting friendship. And so you don't want to derail their career. I mean, that fight would just be a good fight. I don't think it would derail anybody one way or another. But I understand why he's not fighting. Though I wish that he did fight, just because it would be a phenomenal fight. No question about it. But let me see. The Klitschko brothers. Is it Vlad? Yeah. Vlad and Vitaly Klitschko were brothers, so I understood that. I get it. I really do. And it's like, that's why they didn't fight each other. I think their friendship, Keyshawn and Shakur, is like a brother-brother friendship. Hence why it's like, nah, I'm not going to do that to my brother because he helped me be what I am now. And forever I'm grateful. So I get it. I understand it. But regardless of which, even with that being said, we'll see what happens as it transpires. But we still got more fights that we can talk about and cover, like with the road of... Oh, is that it? Okay, yesterday. Like with Nakatani versus I believe it's Nishidi. Let me make sure I got his name correctly. Junto Nakatani fighting. If you didn't know, the man who's been waiting, who we have all been clamoring to fight against the likes of Inoue, is slowly but surely getting closer and closer to that fight, defending his bantamweight title yet again against, I believe, Nishidi. And let me just make sure I got that name correctly so I can give you the full breakdown of what that fight's going to be and how I think that fight is going to go. Again, Yuto Nakatani right now, one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, the best bantamweight in all of boxing, no question about it. Continually dominating the sport, 30-0, 23 KOs on his resume. Has been on a knockout tear for the last 5 fights. Now going against Rotsuki Nashidi, and it's going to be for the IBF and WBC bantamweight titles. This is going to be probably ending in 5, almost assuredly. And again, Nashidi 10-0, I believe, was it 8 KOs on his resume? No, not 8, excuse me. It's 2. So he ain't got a whole lot of power, but he's a phenomenal boxer. Because of that lack of power, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble. Oh, he's going to be in a mess of trouble. World of hurt. World of pain. This fight's probably going to end within 4 rounds, almost assuredly, with another big left-hand destructive job by the likes of Nakatani. That left hand is lethal. That left hand is vile. That left hand is vicious. That left hand is so much of a world-ending weapon. It is, again, this one is a southpaw. He can fight. I believe he can fight in both stances, but he's comfortable, more comfortable. Well, way more comfortable in southpaw. In that lead left straight, whether it's to the body or to the head. It can come from any direction. It can come off a jab. It can come off a hook. There's no combination that isn't safe from that left straight coming down, absolutely destroying, killing. That's what's going to probably happen in this fight. And it's going to be another notch in the belt, not just for Nakatani. But again, like I keep saying, when this fight gets announced of Junto versus Inoue, it's going to happen between this year and next year. It is going to be one of the greatest all-Japanese wars we've ever seen. And one of the greatest fights that we have of this era in boxing. Full stop. And I'm excited for it, but get ready to see one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Junto Nakatani, do what he does best come this Saturday. Also, we got Fabio Wardley, who's going to be fighting again this weekend. I don't know if all these fights are going to be happening on the same card not on the same card. Let me rephrase it. I don't know if these fights are going to be happening all at the same time. And I can't remember exactly which one is coming before which. So it's going to be probably, if you can, get your monitors ready and have 2 or 3 streams up at the same time and see if you can do what you do best and watch them all at once. But this one, he's going to fight, is it Justice Huin or Honey? I think Justice Honey. I think that's his name. Justice Honey. 12 fights, 7 KOs. We expect this to be a knockout. But what's more important, we need to understand, Fabio Wardley is also part of that next regime in boxing that is looking to take over the sport in terms of the heavyweight division. We have been clamoring for how the heavyweight division is going to pan out and look from the landscape of what the best of the best is going to be. Once Usyk, Fury, and all of them fully go away. Fabio Wardley, I failed to mention, is one of those next ones of that generation, on top with Moses Atuma, that is looking to really take precedent and make this whole division hot like fire. I'm so serious. I was saying who's going to be the next step in greatness for who's going to reign once that next generation fully comes into play. Dubois most likely being at the top by the time Atuma and them get into their prime. Understandable. But Wardley, I forgot to say, what this buddy did to Frazier Clark and what he's done to Adelaide, what he's done to, honestly, anybody that stepped in his way. He is a scary menace. He's a scary brother. Be on the lookout for potentially in the future. Atuma versus Wardley, fighting for a shot at a title in the next coming years. I'm so serious. Because don't forget, Atuma's in the top 10 for one of the belt commissions. One of the belt commissions. And if you ever heard of Moses Atuma, 12-0, 10 KOs on his resume, has looked like one of the more polished, up-and-coming prospects that the boxing world has to offer in the heavyweight division, with destructive power, but nuance in intelligence and IQ. I'm telling you, that fight's gonna be fireworks. That's right, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and be prepared. Be absolutely prepared because it's going to be great to see. But let me see what you all had to say real quick. Yo, hey, Jason Radcliffe, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Hey, man. Yo. What's good with you, my brother? How you doing? I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're back. Glad that you're tuning into the show. And honestly, I can't wait. Well, actually, hold on, real quick. Let me make sure I got your stuff up. Let me make sure I'm reading everything correctly because we got people chatting. And let me see. I believe Devin isn't the same fighter after he took. Good gosh, hold on, doggone it, dude. After he took that beating. Okay, my bad. I was trying to see what the end of that word. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong at all. When we look at Devin Haney now, Haney ain't the same brother. Mentally, there is a gap of, I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to have Ryan Garcia happen again. And it's changed the way that he fought. Now, we can talk about this later on in the show because we do want to touch on again Jai Patai. But real quick, as a quick synopsis, Haney, by proxy of not wanting what happened against Ryan Garcia to happen again, has seemingly devolved his game to the bare basics so that now he doesn't have to worry about getting that level of engagement from a heavy-handed puncher again. But I think that's going to hurt him in the long run, exponentially so. And that's more of a mental thing that's going to be a pain, real pain to deal with for his career as it continues. And if he doesn't fix it or get back to fighting like the old Devin Haney, that undefeated record ain't going to be undefeated for long. I promise you. It ain't going to be undefeated for long. Mark my words. But let me see. Al Booker, that's a good fight for Fabio. Justice is no slouch. Wouldn't be surprised if he beat Fabio. You ain't wrong. I really feel that Fabio is going to handle him. Because I think that I saw that fight that he had with Clark as a real turning point for his career. Yes, he's not the most technically, slick fighter. I understand. He's more of a crude brawler. I get it. With power to boot and a great chin. He gets caught. He gets caught a lot. He gets hit a lot. By proxy of his chin, he's able to come forward. Understandable. But that doesn't negate the fact that this man genuinely, as a monstrous fighter, is somebody who puts a lot of fear into a lot of people for a very good reason. And it's because we're seeing him get better. We're seeing him change and evolve and put himself in situations where now this ain't just a brother who is ho-hum or just all willy-nilly. This cat's evolving as a fighter. And this cat is changing. He's learning some things. And he's better using his power and physical ability. That makes for a very dangerous fighter. Even if he's still rudimentary. Because he understands how to use his body. And that's going to be dangerous. And I think that's what's going to make the difference in this fight. I think we're going to see really that power and that use of force, the use of physicality, be something that makes him too much for Huni. Excuse me. And so, let a knockout. If he gets upset, hey, my bad. So wrong. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to do exactly what we think he's going to be. Or I think he's going to be, exactly what we think he is. Or evolving into. Which is a great fighter, and I'm excited for it. But let me continue to go on, because again, the last fight of this weekend is Jai Patai, yes sir, the menace, the monster, the most destructive force right now in the cruiserweight division, who potentially, might be looking to move up to heavyweight in the near future after he gets the Cerudo fight, potentially. And if he does get that fight, again, it's going to be a knockdown, drag out fall. That's going to be one of the most anticipated and probably the most exciting fights that we have for the year, if I'm being completely honest. But what I want to see from Apatai is in this fight, I'm expecting a knockout. Yes. I'm expecting him to dominate. No question. I'm expecting to still see the sharp punches, the almost sword-like sharpness whenever he goes through and throws his hooks or his uppercuts or his straight or any punch for that matter. I expect him to control the ring, control not just range, but control the pace of the fight. But I need to see a better use of defensive application. What do I mean? I'm not saying Jai Patai is a bad defensive fighter, but what I am saying is what I see for Apatai at his best, even though he's a come forward fighter already, if he can be a better defensive fighter as he's coming in to close the show and as he's coming in to try to really do damage on his opponent. Similar to a David Benavidez, this man turns into a whole different beast if he gains that level of nuance and skill set. Now, granted, again, going up against Claudio Secchi, or Secu? Secu? I think it's Secu. Excuse me for saying his name wrong. Again, 17-0, 9 KOs, but per BoxRec and other rankings, around the 60-ish range for rankings of the cruiserweight division. This is a fight that he should win easily, but I want to see him practice new stuff defensively. That's what I want. This is the fight. Again, any fight's dangerous, absolutely. Again, 9 KOs with 17 wins. It's not a great knockout percentage, but at this division and at heavyweight, any one punch can potentially do you in. Understandable. But still, this is an opportunity for Jai in preparation for the likes of Zerudo to practice new stuff, practice new defensive ways, new defensive options in the midst of your offensive aggressive nature. Because you're going to need it when you go against Zerudo. You're going to need it. And right now, while I think it's at least a 50-50 fight with you against her, if you really want to have the best chance at beating her, you're going to need to be more nuanced in your defensive approach. And this is the fight to really practice and show those nuances to better prepare you for the ultimate goal of getting with the other biggest dog in the division in Zerudo. But I'm expecting a knockout probably in 5? Most likely in 5 rounds. I'm expecting to see a knockout take place and to see Jai Patai again reign, dominate, rule, and do what he does best, which is be a menace, be a monster, and be one of the most destructive and exciting cruiserweights that we've seen in all, not just of the division, but in all of boxing as a whole. Absolutely. But let's see what else we got to say. We got people in the chat. Hold on, wait a minute. We got people in the chat. I think Worley fight will be better than Davis. El Pinchy, which Davis are you talking about? Are you talking about the Tank Davis fight? Or are you talking about a different Davis? Worley's fights are going to be a banger. Absolutely. No question about it. And Albuga, I agree with you. But are you saying it's going to be better than the Tank Davis fight that's coming later on this year? Oh, no, Keyshawn. My bad. Keyshawn. I'm stupid. I'm ridiculous. Keyshawn. You're talking about the Keyshawn fight. It's going to probably be more exciting. Well, I can't even say that. Shoot. I can't even say that. I think that Keyshawn, I'm thinking that Keyshawn fight is going to be the fight that might steal the weekend. I think that, I'm not going to lie, I think that Keyshawn fight is going to be the fight that steals the weekend. Because it's going to be a better blend of technical ability, and it will also devolve into a fight, I believe. Though we know Wardley's going to be a war, because it's always a war. We expect it. That doesn't diminish it. It doesn't take away from it. It's still that. But I think that we're going to see the better fight be the Keyshawn versus Santos fight. And I think it's going to, again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think it's going to be better than the Wardley fight. Also, because I got a very sneaky suspicion that Wardley fight is going to end quicker than we may expect. I'm not going to call this one. But you know what? I stand on it. This fight might end in 4. Fabio Wardley. I think so. So, by proxy of it being a short fight, I don't think it's going to be a better fight because it won't have time to really go into those depths because I think it's ending in 4 with Wardley, for the most part, taking the main control and doing what he does best. And so again, just humbly, my estimation, I could be completely wrong, absolutely, but just my 2 cents on the matter. But let me continue to go on and see what you all have to say. I have not watched. Keyshawn just came back to the boxing game, and Eugene have helped to educate about the sweet science. Hey, I appreciate it. No problem, brother. That's what we do. That's what we do. This is what we do. We educate, we help learn, we help grow, we help do all of those things to help you become a better fan, better fighter, and just a better all-around knowledgeable sports enthusiast. We love it. And hopefully I'm giving you stuff that you can take, and you can also find out more stuff on your own. All of this is to help you become more educated and learn to love the sport even more, regardless of what sport it is. And if I'm helping you get back into the flow of the game, hey, stick around for the ride, brother, because you ain't seen nothing yet. I promise you that. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me keep on reading real quick, but I appreciate the sentiment, Jason. It really means a lot to me that, hey, what this channel was meant to be, it's working. Really does me proud. But let me see. Apatai needs that Cejudo unification bout, but Benavidez might get Cejudo first. I don't know. I really, that fight is going to be really dictated on what's going to happen with, honestly, B-Ball better be it. Because if we see with what we got going on right now, if we see Benavidez get Bivol or Benavidez after their trilogy and then beat him and then rank, I don't know if he's going to move up to cruiserweight immediately, because I think at that point in time he would go and get the likes of Canelo, come see me now and make this fight, because I got what you failed to get against Bivol. And potentially if Bivol's the guy that wins, I beat the man that beat you. What's your excuse now to not come up here and fight me? And because of that, he'll stay long enough for Apatai to get that fight with Cejudo first. And then Benavidez, if he doesn't get the Canelo fight, or even regardless of whether he does or doesn't after that waiting period, then goes and moves up, and then he fights Cejudo. Absolutely. Now, can Benavidez beat Cejudo? That might be a step too far, just by sheer size alone. If he doesn't, my gosh, shoot, that'd be stupid and incredible in the best way possible. But that's even for the likes of Benavidez, everybody's got their limit. That might be Benavidez's limit, because that's a big. Them some big cats at cruiserweight, man. Like, even though we've seen Benavidez stunned and recover, that's a different level of power. But more people than not got Morrell's level of pop at cruiserweight on average, let alone the likes of Cejudo and or a Apatai. If you fight them, I mean, shoot, that's a huge, tall order to ask for. Not saying that he can't do it, but that might be a limit. That might be a limit too far. But let me see what people have to continue to say. Yes, Keys. Okay, yep, El Pinchy. I got you. I feel like Santos will bend the knee. Wow. Oh, you think he's gonna call it? You think he's gonna call it? He's gonna pull a tank. Oh my gosh. Hey, whoa, wait a minute now. If he does that, if Keyshawn makes Santos literally take a knee and just say, nah, I can't go no more, brother, the build up for Tank versus Keyshawn would be insane. Would be absolutely insane. Oh, gosh. I'd love it. I would love it absolutely to happen. Oh, my goodness. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be incredible if that took place. And let me see. Blaze PPP, what's good with you, brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. We appreciate it. Hold on, I'm clicking on it, but it ain't coming up. Let me see what you got to say first and foremost. Keyshawn Davis just called out Abdullah Mason for his next fight wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, shoot. Oh, buddy. Wait a minute. Hold on a second now. Is this true? My gosh. I'm doing the stream. I'm not able to at this point in time see the press conference because I got to get some equipment so I can actually see the stuff while I'm talking to you all. But wait a minute, is this real? Is this real? Keyshawn just called out Abdullah Mason for his next fight at the live press conference, and Abdullah wasn't sure about accepting the challenge. Oh boy! Oh my gosh! Oh shoot! Wait a minute! This is some new territory. This is some new territory now. Hold on a second, brother. He called him out, and Abdullah second guessed the call out. Oh my gosh! Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. Okay, let's hold on. Let me shoot. We might as well go into it. Since we here right now, we going into other topics under the sun. Hey, we'll do what we do best. We'll call it early. It's the championship rounds right now. It's time to pop and shine and make the world your oyster. Do what you do best. We gonna turn the show over to you all. Don't give me no information. This is a great time to talk about anything and everything that you want to discuss in the world of sports, whether it's boxing, basketball, NBA, or beyond. You drive the show for the next 30 minutes to an hour. Cause shoot, y'all giving me something. We going off the rails now. Cause shoot. Oh my gosh, indeed. Talk about pressure and talk about you pushing the issue. This is what we want to see from the likes of Keyshawn Davis. Call it out, make it plain, and show what you want to happen so that it can happen. That's what we want. That's all we aspire to ask. That is all that we ever ask for when it comes to you as a fighter. Go and make it known what you choose to do or what you're trying to do. And so we love that. Absolutely. And so, but at the same time, Jay Will, you right as well. Abdullah ain't ready. But Jay Will's right also. Abdullah Mason ain't ready for that. Not yet. He ain't ready for that yet. He is not ready for that yet. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it also Abdullah Mason that had been calling out the likes of Keyshawn Davis? I believe I said that earlier in the show. In fact, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Stay right here. Stay right where you are. Because let me pull this up. Because if I got the video, if I have the video, this would be a very good thing to pull up right now. Come on. Don't fail me now. Let me see if I can find it. I think I saved this one specifically for this instance. Come on. Doggone it. Come on. I know I got it. I'm not crazy, am I? I'm not crazy. I can't find it. I don't know why I can't find it. But essentially, I remember, and if I'm misremembering, I'm sorry. But I do distinctly remember seeing a clip of Keyshawn talking about Abdullah Mason and him wanting that fight against Abdullah Mason. Or rather, Abdullah calling him out and saying he wants to smoke. And so, now if Abdullah is in fact not taking that smoke, when he asks for that smoke, we got to call that a duck as well. Especially if you got called out outright for the very thing that you asked for. Now, again, I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm misremembering anything I'm saying. Because I distinctly remember there was a point in time when Abdullah was calling out the likes of Keyshawn Davis. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I remember seeing a video on Twitter of Keyshawn acknowledging that Mason called him out and saying, hey, I'll beat him up and I want that smoke and I'll take him out too. I remember. If I am misremembering that, please let me know. I will keep on searching to make sure that I can find the video that validates this sentiment. Because I'm not trying to speak from speak from off the hip. We're just trying to get some hype. I remember that. I remember distinctly hearing that. I remember distinctly hearing it. In fact, here, let me, oh, wait, no. Here, never mind. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Did you watch AEW yesterday? I did not. I didn't get to see it yesterday. I'm sorry. I was I'm not gonna lie, I was busy trying to get some equipment to help out with the show. So I wasn't able to see it yesterday. So I can't fill you in on it. But if you're gonna fill me in on what's going on, absolutely fill me in. But let me quickly show you all, for those of you who didn't get to see the press conference, here's a quick clip of this very interaction between Keyshawn and
stares at you, one of those
Abdullah
guys.
Mason. Let me make sure this is, yep.
Stares at you, one of those guys.
Absolutely.
So what you want to do?
Don't on it. Oh, come on.
Absolutely.
Stares at you, one of those guys.
Absolutely.
So what you want to do?
I'm working my way up. I'm right here.
So after you beat him, what you want to do?
We can do whatever. You know, I'm pretty sure my team can put anything together.
Are you going to put it together, sir? You the man in there.
I don't want to talk to you right now,
I bet you don't.
but I let my hands do the talking. So
So let's
anything
do it
you want
next.
to do?
Let's do it next.
Okay, I'm pretty sure my team accommodates.
No. Me and you, let's make it happen right now in front of everybody. After I knock De Los Santos out, after you knock this opponent out, me and you, let's fight next. Let's do it.
That's what I'm here for.
You here to fight me next?
He said that's
I'm
what
here
I
for.
came for.
That's a bet.
Okay, so maybe not the.
Oh,
Carl, are you
shoot.
still Carl?
Bob Arum. Bob,
Carl,
you ready?
Bob.
You ready? Bob Arum, the man with the player right there. The man with the player is right there.
Stares at you, one of those guys.
This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for when it comes to you making yourself known and calling out what you want and pushing for the best that you can get. This is how a champion should act. This is the type of drive that a champion should be about on a consistent basis, making it so that you get what you want. And if somebody is trying to gun for the crown, you go and you stand 10 toes down and you say, you want it? Come get it. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew Abdullah Mason had talked about getting him earlier. I knew he was saying he wanted to get in the ring and get that smoke. I knew I wasn't crazy. But now, brother, you were there and you ain't do a doggone thing. You set up and you did the semantics. I'm telling you, you tried to avoid that conversation like you were Floyd Mayweather. You slipped and ducked and dodged through giving any sort of agreement. You can't be tough and then also be passive aggressive. Or at least in this vein. You can. There's a way to do it. Absolutely. This ain't that way. No, it ain't. This is you. You, brother, you got asked directly what you want to do. And you ain't say nothing. You ain't say a thing. This man this man called his own promoter and said, hey, make this fight happen next. And you froze up. You froze. I'm okay with saying that maybe skill-wise, you ain't ready for it. But in terms of how Abdullah, at least for Keyshawn Davis, how he's been talking in regards to him, and how you now trying to literally back down from saying, ooh, let's not push our chips beforehand. Nah. This is, we get in the ring. Get in the ring and do it. Get in the ring and make yourself known. Make it happen. See, this, if I'm being real, this is what, and El Pinchy, that was a good promo. That was a really good promo. And Key is a sharper puncher, no question about it. But more than just the punching style, we are looking at Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, right now, is moving the way that Teo thinks he's moving. Keyshawn is who Teo thinks he is. From the standpoint of bravado and being able to stand on what he says. This is what we want when it comes to you wanting smoke and you pushing yourself. Notice, everybody who just saw that, even with us saying that we know Keyshawn or we know Abdullah ain't ready for that smoke at this point in time as a talent, we're still saying, hey, brother, the champ called you out and you back down. You're supposed to say, make it happen. And now all of a sudden, if we get that fight to actually be made happen, there's some drama that we all want to go and see. Because there is a apparent drive. There's an aggressive nature of somebody wants this. And now it's the champ that wants this smoke? Oh, nah, make it happen. Don't stutter now. Especially with what you said months ago. Don't stutter now. Come on. After this, you want to fight? We love young cats getting in the ring and actually getting it on. We want to see fighters be able to fight, not just in their prime, but also early. And that's what it used to be like. It didn't used to be that everybody was just, it's in their prime, now it's time to fight. Nah. If there were two big stars, even if one wasn't as experienced, brother, the fight makes sense. The people are clamoring for it. Even the champ said, let's make it happen. Hey, go and do it. You lose, you grow, you come back, you rematch them again. You get better, you go and you do what you need to do. But hey, make it happen. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is really good. Now, Abdullah Mason, he was like a deer in headlights. He was like a deer in headlights because somebody looked him in his face and said, hey, you want this opportunity? Because I'll give it to you. And this brother went, no mas. No habla inglés. That's what this brother went. All of a sudden didn't understand 3 letters. 3 letters, 1 word. Yes. Trying to get my inner Jey Uso out there. But 3 letters, 1 word, a simple syllable. Yes. Boom. You got yourself a title shot. Literally. You got yourself a title shot and opportunity. And with how he's been talking, he wants that. He said he needs it. He said he's looking for that now. Into Abdullah Mason. But when he got offered, all of a sudden you shut up. So it's a frustrating thing. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. Do you think Loma a first ballot Hall of Famer after he retired today? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, I wholeheartedly do. Because it's, again, right now, he's the greatest amateur boxer potentially ever. 363 fights and won. He became the fastest, I think he's one of the fastest to ever become a champion. I think in less than 6 fights. At his best, he was the best. Most of the fights that he lost to, outside of the Teofimo Lopez fight, I feel that it was the wrong decision. And he should have won. There's plenty of, and with the Tank situation, there's a situation where he should have gotten those fights, but didn't, and got waited out, if I'm being completely honest. But even with that, though it's only, 25 fights in his career, the amateurs coupled with the speed and record-breaking nature and legitimately being at the pound-for-pound best for as long as he was, it ain't bad to say that this man shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. It's hard. Because let's be real, he's of a past era. Think about the past era in boxing that Lomachenko was in. It was Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. All of them were still in the midst. And Lomachenko was at the top. He was. Tyson Fury at his best. Deontay Wilder at his prime. You had Tank, again, still coming up and reaching and peaking. It was Lomachenko that had the definitive grasp on the boxing world as the best pound-for-pound fighter for a number of years. And it was for good reason. So I think all of his accolades collectively, though we get how it's, again, yes, he retired as champion. Yes, lost to Devin Haney. I don't think he should have lost. Lost to T.O. I think he genuinely lost. What was that third loss? You lost to who was it? Who was it? Who was that? Shoot, who was that third loss? Who was that third loss that he fought against? Dang it, I cannot remember. For the life of me, I cannot remember. But regardless of which, I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I truly do. First ballot, I ain't got a problem. I don't got a problem with that because I know what I witnessed from his brother, and he is insane. He was insane, and genuinely, he was great, phenomenal. Let's see, Jason Radcliffe. Do you truly believe that Benavidez can beat either Bebo or is that Chechen? Better BF? Is that chicken? Is that chicken or Chechen? Or better BF? Whatever the case may be, better BF. I believe that he can beat Bevo. I don't think he can beat better BF. I think he's got a better chance at beating Bevo than he's got at beating better BF. He fights against better BF. By the nature of how he fights, and he's going to be on the back. He is not going to be able to walk down Archer better BF. That's not happening. Let's get that straight right now. He can maybe walk down Bevo, because Bevo likes to fight on the back foot. He's not walking down Archer better BF. He is not going to. If he couldn't hurt David Morrell in terms of like wobble him consistently, he's not hurting Archer better BF. And Archer better BF's got the power and simplistic yet effective punch array. And by simplistic, I mean he takes the straightest path to dogging you out. He's going to be able to Benavidez doesn't want that. He don't want that. For me, he doesn't want that. I don't want to see him in that. Because that's a dangerous game. Because Benavidez is the perfect antithesis to go against what Benavidez is as a fighter. He's perfect. Because everything that we saw Benavidez do at 168, Beterbiev has done to everybody, even against Bebo at 175. Beating them up through the gloves, breaking everything about them. Hands, biceps, chest, fist, face, all that. Bloodies them, beats them up, breaks their bones, breaks their will, breaks their spirit. All of that is what we talked about with David Benavidez at 168. At 175, Bivol has done that. Even in his losing efforts, he still did the same thing, which was only to Bivol. Beterbiev is a monster. Beterbiev is the monster that Benavidez was at 168. The only issue is Benavidez at this new weight class is not that monster anymore. He's a better overall fighter. Yes, from what he was at 168. Because he was forced to get new skills. But he's not that anymore at this weight class. Because the power ain't nearly the same. Though the output still stays the same. Better well-rounded fighter. But the monster aspect of him is not the same type of monster in this division. Benavidez is the same monster that we saw, Beterbiev is the same monster that Benavidez was at 168, but at 175 right now. And Benavidez doesn't have the firepower because he's going to go to war. He's going to fight in the pocket. He doesn't want to fight on the back foot. He doesn't fight on the back foot. Not well. Or not at his best. No. He can't. I don't think he can beat Archer Beterbiev. But I think he can beat Bivol. I wholeheartedly think now, it's still going to be a tough task to beat both of them. No question. But if I had my pick of who would be the better to beat, it would be Bivol as a better option for Benavidez to beat. Because if Benavidez, there's so many B's in this conversation, they get confused. If Beterbiev, let me put on the music. If Beterbiev beats Bivol in this trilogy, and he has to fight David Benavidez, and Beterbiev hasn't lost a step,
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
Benavidez is going to have some problems. He's going to have some real problems. I guarantee. I guarantee you Benavidez is going to have some real problems going through that type of wall. Oh, it's gonna be a menace. It's gonna be a menace and a monster. Absolutely no question about it. Junto Nakatani unification is big for Junto to look impressive to set up a fight against Inoue. Absolutely no question about it. We expect him to win in its unification bout. And again, I got that fight ending in 5 rounds. Actually, five rounds in a knockout by another left straight, like he's been doing all throughout his time in boxing. And if you haven't gotten a chance to watch Nakatani, if you're new, you need to look at this man, because this is the greatest op at this point in time between that Inoue has currently. But outside of 126, this is the biggest. He's bigger than he's a bigger op than Akmadali. He's a bigger op than Marlon Tapaz. He's a bigger op than Roman Cardenas. I promise you. Nakatani is one of them ones. He's a menace. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog. I promise you. And you're going to want to see why this brother's a dog on Saturday. Because it's something you ain't going to want to miss. You do not want to miss that. Listen, do you think there is an argument for Loma versus Tio being a draw from El Pinchi? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Well, I do. There's an argument for it. Absolutely. I have that loss as a legitimate loss. Of what is again, the record is the record, absolutely. But of the losses that he's had that I feel he should have won, the Tio fight, I watched it and rewatched it. Tio did win that fight by 1 round, by winning round 12 clean. Because Loma fully dominated by rounds 5 and on. After round 5, he took control of the fight and won everything up until round 12, where Tio won. There's an argument that Loma won one of the first 3 rounds. One of them. And I think it'll probably be round 2. That there's an argument that if I'm remembering, it's been a minute since I watched that fight, but I think it's round 2 that you can make an argument that Loma did win, which would have made this fight a draw. But it's gonna be tough, because I think that's a full blown loss for Lomachenko. That's the cleanest loss of his career for me. It's one of the best fights of his career, one of the best fights of Tio's career. But I think that's the cleanest loss of Loma's career, because Loma, by my account, genuinely lost that fight, and I couldn't dispute it. I couldn't, because once Tio won to round 12, it was like, okay. Tio won the first 6. Loma won the last 5. Tio won the first 6. Loma won the last 5. And then if it was Tio losing that last round, draw, Loma winning or getting a knockdown, Loma wins. Loma winning the round would have been a draw. Loma getting the knockdown would have been an outright win. Loma lost that round in round 12. Hence why I was like, yeah, Teofimo, he won that fight. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading. What's your expectation for Murtala as a new 135-pound IBF champ? I got some high hopes. I got some high expectations. I am looking for this man to really be one of the bigger dominating threats at 135. And again, further shows the growth of 135 with all the contenders that are there now. Keyshawn Davis, Tank, Shakur, now Murtala. Coupled with that, even beyond just that, it's let me wait, hold on. Before I go through that, let me real quick do one thing on my screen so I am able to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Hold up, wait a minute. Give me one quick second to... Is it done? Is it? Doggone it. Shoot. Oh, okay. All right now, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. Dang it. Let me make sure that I'm... Doggone it. Brother, what's going on? What is going on? What in the world is transpiring? It's all of a sudden causing this to go amiss. Have a thing. Place it. Wait, what in the world? What in the world? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. We are having something is all of a sudden just went kaput. And I ain't seeing nothing from nobody. Hold on 1 minute. Because y'all are commenting, y'all are talking, and I love it. No question about it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. We should be back to 100. We should be back. Okay. All right. Hello. Are we there? Are we there? Are we good? Are we good? Somebody real quick chat something. Chat anything. Somebody chat just a simple hello. If you can. In fact, I'll do it myself just to. Okay. All right. Never mind. We're back. We're good. I just had to make sure that this thing was not going on the fritz. So my bad. My apologies. So sorry. My bot just went out for one quick second. But now we back. We good. Everything's working like it's supposed to. We A-okay now. No issues at all. So now, back up top, somebody had asked me something. Mega fight with Inoue. Yes, we're excited for the mega fight with Inoue. That fight is going to be spectacular. Shoot. Even if both of them lose, it would still be a spectacular fight that I want to see. But we are banking on Nakatani potentially after this fight moving up, or at least shortly after winning this fight and unifying, moving up, because they want to have a fight at 122. Inoue wants to stay at 122 before moving to 126 to fight against Nakatani. He wants that. He does. As long as his body can stay at 122, he wants to stay at 122. And he already called out Junto to his face at Japanese Summit. And Junto stepped to the plate and said, yeah, let's get it on. And so they both want to make it happen. So we just gotta essentially wait and see if it actually comes to fruition. And if it does, everything is great, all good, we love it, and we can't wait to see it take place. No question, but let me continue looking. Better do you hold on. Better be able, it's 40 years old, makes it that much better for Benavidez. And this fight, I don't think is going to be as advantageous to Benavidez as you may think. Because Archer Benavidez is 40, but he's not slowing down. That's the thing. He's not slowing down. Stylistically, you can handle Bivol better than Beterbiev. Couple that with the power that Beterbiev actually has. And that would be the most destructive and best offensive fighter you fought in your career if you fight either of them. But specifically, if you fought the likes of Beterbiev, that from a standpoint of damage and danger, that's the brother who, there was any time for the Mexican monster to all of a sudden have another monster that can go and match him or be bigger than him. That's the guy. That's the guy. And yes, we know Benavidez has sparred with the likes of Bivol. We get that. Absolutely. And Bivol has some high praise for him. No question. This man, Beterbiev, still beat Bivol. Benavidez during his sparring session didn't do that. He gave him good work, didn't beat him. He didn't. If he did, probably would have been saying. Or been walking around with that performance of sparring a little bit more on his chest. Though we know the rules of sparring, you keep sparring and sparring. Understandable. I'm telling you, if Beterbiev is not slowing down, I don't think Benavidez can beat him. That's the one brother I'm thinking Benavidez, I don't think he's got a good shot against. I really don't. I really don't. It ain't many people that I say that with. He's one of them. I'd say he's got a shot at beating Canelo. More of a shot. I've got him at this point in time favored if he ever fought against Canelo Alvarez. Absolutely. Right now. But Beterbiev, that's the one brother of all the contenders that I'm struggling to say, yeah, you can beat him. Yeah, go take him. Go do what you got to do. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling because that's a beast. That's a real monster. That's a scary cat. That is a Terminator-like force that just, against Benavidez specifically, I just see that as a very bad matchup. That's such a bad matchup for me going up against Beterbiev. And if Beterbiev is 40, but still looking like the Beterbiev that we see now, the Beterbiev that we saw fight in the first two fights against Bebo, the Beterbiev that beat and destroyed most people in his weight, all people in his weight, highest knockout ratio in boxing right now. No, sir. I can't see that. Right at this point, I can't. I need to see Benavidez show me something special to say that, yeah, he can take Beterbiev, at least in this current point in time right now. But again, it's still championship rounds. We still talk about a lot of stuff that you want to discuss. I did want to discuss. Also, hold on, wait a minute. We got some news. Hold on. We got some news. Per Teo's manager, regarding the collapse of negotiations with Teo versus Devin Haney. Unfortunately, Teo won't be fighting in August for personal reasons that I will keep confidential. We want to thank His Excellency for the opportunity and everything he's done for Teo. We planned on fighting, but with what was going on, he wanted to make sure he was 100% right mentally and physically. And August was just too quick of a turnaround. I expect Teo to be back later this year, bigger and better than ever. Okay, all right. So hey, new information, new things to discuss. Now, shed some new light on the situation. Apparently now this gives a new aspect to why we saw what Teo was, or rather what he was not doing in negotiations and walking away. So, as I believe it was, who was it that said it earlier? Might have been Albert Real. Albert Real. Albert Real, if you're still here, hey, buddy, you called it. I didn't see it. You saw something I didn't. Give credit where credit is due. You said Teo might be hiding something. Because who turns down $11 million and Teo never made that much money in any fight? Something's got to be going on that we don't know. I said maybe that is the case, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure. Now, with this information, something's going on personally. Because everything, the questions that we had were valid. None of this made sense as to why we were seeing this man not go and take this fight. Something's going on behind the scenes now, objectively true. What that is, I don't know. Hopefully it's not something that is self-induced. Hopefully, and I don't say hopefully as in I hope it's something bad, but hopefully it was an injury and not something personal that is like, oh my gosh, life's going awry yet again. Because we've seen that before. That can be a problem. And so something personal's going on with Teo. That is why we see this fight not happen. Now, again, it still doesn't negate the fact that what we saw with Devin Haney earlier. Doesn't negate the Keyshawn Davis situation. Those situations are still valid. This one may be different as we get further information as time goes on. But for right now, we called it a duck. Understandable. With this newfound information, we can walk that back a little bit. Hey, we can walk it back for now. Because as we know, certain things bigger than boxing. Certain things take more precedent. Depending on what those things are, which again, we don't know right now. Understandable. We have to take what we have as the information that we can work with. So I'll walk back the duck allegations. I'll do it. I'll full stop. I'll be fair like I am with everything else. I'll be fair. For now, I'll walk it back. He didn't duck Devin Haney. Something legitimately is wrong. And he can't do what he wants to do with Haney because he feels I'm not there. And we've seen what Teo's like when he's not there mentally in the boxing game. A shell of himself. And getting beaten out boxed by Sandro Martin and the likes of Jermaine Ortiz. So we get it. Understand it. For now, we'll walk back the duck allegations. Had a whole show about it. Now that we got this information, we can walk it back. But if we do see that the reasons are self-induced, because of his own stuff, and he didn't take the fight, or that there weren't any instances of anything wrong at all, because we have seen that before, then we have this conversation again, and it goes back to, yep, he was wrong. But for now, only for now, we walk back the duck. It's not a duck if this is indeed true. And there's some personal stuff going on, because we understand, like I said, stuff's bigger than boxing. So we don't take that lightly in terms of if somebody's dealing with some stuff. I get it. But even still, we're going to see what's going on. Now, I will say, man's call out Boots, and now we got personal reasons. Like I said, for now, until we get more information, I'll walk back the ducking stuff until I see what the meat and potatoes of why all this is going on. Because mental health is a serious thing. We don't play with that. Genuine. It's taking people out. It just took out the brother who did sports science. Sadly lost his battle to depression. Shame. Absolute shame. But if I find out this man really isn't got nothing going on, and it's just another ploy, like with the other games that he's played, we're gonna have at it. We're gonna have at it, no question. I promise you. I promise you we will. But let me keep on reading to see what you all have to say. Come on. There we go. NBA Finals prediction. NBA Finals prediction. Can Pacers stop SGA from winning Finals MVP? No, they cannot. Absolutely not. No, sir. No. It's going to be a very exciting, a very engaging 4-1 gentleman's sweep. Games are going to be closer than you expect. Absolutely. The Pacers are not going to be able to deal with the best defense in the NBA and the top 5 offense in the NBA at the same time. They're not going to be able to deal with it. Collectively, they are one of the best and most fluent and dynamic offenses that the NBA has to offer in terms of the Pacers. No question. They get their runs off of fast breaks and turnovers. They play the fastest in the NBA right now. However, the issue with that becomes you were dealing with teams that couldn't stop you on the break. Now, you're not dealing with that when it comes to OKC. Not only they can run with you, but they can lock you down. They can turn you into the teams that you turned other people like the Knicks into. You can't press them full court. You can't trap them. You can't try to force turnovers and you not pay the price against this team. You can't try to speed up your game lest you start making mistakes and then now you get run out the building in your own right. This team is both a mirror and an abject antagonist, or complete opposite, not antagonist, excuse me, an abject polar opposite to what you are. They can beat you the way that you play, and they can stop you from playing the very way that you want to play, and do it in the way that you do it to other teams. They're going to be pressing you. They're going to be physical with you. Let Obi, see if Obi Toppin's going to get 15 to 20 when he's got Caruso or Jalen Williams or the other Jalen Williams or Lou Dort or Chet Holmgren on him. Let's see if Pascal Siakam can go for 39, like he did. Let's see if Tyrese Halliburton having an 8-point, 12-assist game is going to be enough to be able to win. Because now your other running mates aren't going to be nearly as productive because the switches are going to be better. The man-on-man defense is going to be locked down. Zone defense is going to be executed to perfection. Matchups for matchups, they can do it with anybody. Anybody. Halliburton, we got 3 people that can guard you. Naismith, we got 3 people that can guard you. Nembhard, we got 3 people that can guard you. Obi Toppin, we got 5 people that can guard you. Pascal Siakam, we got 4 people that can guard you. We can play small, we can play big, we can play outside, we can play inside. We can spray threes with you. We can go to the foul line and get you. We can put you in foul trouble. We can slow down the game by proxy of not us playing slow, but you not wanting to play up with us. Because now you got 4 fouls. Halliburton got 4. Obi Toppin got 5. Miles Turner got 4. Nembhard got 3. Naismith got 6. Next thing you know, you got a great, you can play a bitch. But against this team, to carry the load? Oh, absolutely not. No, that ain't happening. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep. A very fun. Game's going to probably be 130 to 110, 130 to 120. But it's going to be a gentleman's sweep, and they're going to dominate. Absolutely. Aaron Rodgers officially flying out to Pittsburgh to start mandatory minicamp. Oh, so he's back. Oh my gosh. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. I didn't know you were committed to football anymore. I didn't know you played anymore, Aaron. I thought you were still in a dungeon or in a blackout state or in a blacked out hobbit hole, finding yourself for the 3rd time this week, for the 10th time this in the past 3 years. I did not know you were committed to the game. He is, I am, now wait, let me make sure that this is real or this is valid. Let me make, Hold on. Everybody stay here. Everybody stay right here. I'm going to tell you this. I'm concerned that this brother is going to not gel with Mike Tomlin. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
That's about to
We
be.
got some problems here.
You want to talk about a no-nonsense type coach, Mr. 8-8 himself? You'll never fail. How much you succeed? He might get you some. No, he can get you a deep run in the playoffs, but you never be below, 8-8. But the issue is also, brother, he is a no-nonsense stickler when it comes to football. And now you're going up against one of the more volatile, unpredictable, very much flamboyant, abstract-natured players in Aaron Rodgers. Now, from a football mind aspect, hey, it sounds great. But also, wait a minute. What is the Steelers shoot? What's their QB room looking like right now? Because at this point in time, ain't they? Let me look at the depth chart real quick. So I'm not mincing words as it loads up. Right now, it's at this point in time, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, okay, and Skylar Thompson. Okay, all right, okay. I was still thinking that. I almost was under the impression that they still had the likes of I'm still thinking that Russell Wilson's still on Pittsburgh. He's not. No, he's long gone from there. So my bad. So no, they need him. They got the experiment with New York and Aaron. That's done. Now they wasted some years. My goodness. Oh, I feel bad for them. Oh, I feel bad for the Jets. I feel so bad for the Jets. They did everything that they could to make it so that they were in a position to win. First year, Rodgers gets injured, tears his Achilles. Okay, fine. Next year, still don't succeed. And Aaron Rodgers ain't playing nearly what he used to play like. And now they feel robbed and cheated. Oh, Such a shame. Such a shame indeed. But we're going to see what they can do. We're going to see what they can do. Now that you have, again, TJ Watt on the defensive end side being able to, okay, give you some level of clean traction. You got DJ Metcalf. You have, I want to say Jalen Warren. He's not a bad running back. But you got a good wide. You have a great wide receiver in Metcalf. Big wide receiver you can throw to. Fairly good. Not saying it's the best, but fairly good O-line that you can really work with. And defensively, Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, Darius Slay, Joey Porter, Micah Fitzpatrick still as one of the best free safeties in the game. You got yourself a team that if Aaron Rodgers is playing well, should be able to really make some noise. At least get 10 wins. At least. Though I know the division is difficult. Understand it. Hey. But with Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers, if they're able to gel with this team and potentially getting some more pieces also throughout the offseason, might not be bad. But at the same time, I'm not holding out my hopes. Because right now with Aaron Rodgers, there's too much uncertainty to outweigh his talent. And his talent of recent hasn't shown to be worth the uncertainty. That's the biggest concern. That's the biggest concern when it comes to them. But as of right now, I do want to touch on one more thing before we get out of here. And that is what Keyshawn talked about when it came to Tank. This was something I did want to touch on before I left because, well, it's been a phenomenal show. I do want to keep going, and you all can still keep this show going if you all keep commenting, absolutely. But this is one thing I did want to touch on earlier that I didn't get to touch on at the point in time, which was Tank and his regime. Not regime. Tank and his mentality when it comes to good guys. But is everything breaking right now? Hold on a minute. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I'm doing this. Well, again, this is live. If you're listening to this on the podcast, hey, glad that you're here. Glad that you're back. Thanks for tuning in. We do this live, so excuse me if I'm being more so sporadic. But I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff breaking left, right, and center. I'm trying to make sure what's real, what's fake, what's valid, what ain't valid. So I ain't moving crazy. Right now, I got tabs open left, right, and center. What the word is going on? Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. If everybody, look, we're a sports show. I'm going to just say this. If everybody goes to Twitter and if you're keeping up with politics and everybody goes to Twitter right now, we just got some very potentially damaging news for our current president. This ain't a political show. It's just shock and awe. And you might want to take a look at Twitter right now. Because my goodness, this is a very, oh shoot. Very much damaging indictment. But regardless of which, we ain't going to deal with that. Because that ain't what we do. That ain't what we about. We sticking with sports. It's just shock and awe. A bunch of stuff was breaking all my stuff in boxing and beyond. And with the NBA. Bradley Beal might not be coming back to the Suns. Suns don't want him. KD might be going to Toronto. But either way, regardless of where, New York, might be going to New York. Toronto has been rumored. And also, they have lowered the asking price for Kevin Durant as a player from what they were asking for initially. So now the market's really open and they're trying to move this brother before his contract ends. There is an opportunity that the Knicks could get KD and trade Cat because the Suns want an actual big man. And with what Cat showed in this last playoff series and what the Knicks need, KD might be that guy to take them over the hump and stop the stagnation in offense that Jalen Brunson brought to the table when he was on the floor, though Jalen was indeed a dog. You can get a serviceable big man to help out Mitchell Robinson, no question. Another rebounder, absolutely. but you upgrade from Cat to KD as a dynamic duo in shooting with the roster you got now. Oh gosh, oh that's lethal. That's insane. That would be. That is scary. That's incredibly scary, but in the best way possible. Oh gosh, but that's great. But again, let me stick to what I'm supposed to do. Let me pull up what I was supposed to pull up with the likes of Keyshawn Davis in regards to talking about Canelo, but in a way, Tank, and specifically Tank, being at the top of the mountain. What he does that, or what he feels about that whole sentiment. Let me pull it up right now before we get out of here.
So it's really we are all in the same fucking bucket. And if you look at it,
and excuse the language again, my apologies. Excuse the language. Viewer discretion is advised. Just as I can't bleep it out, but this is what they have to say. And excuse the language.
from a far point of view, my nigga, you would see that we all fucking crabs. And we're all fucking pulling on each other to get to the motherfucking top. Sometimes I sit back and think like, damn. But I feel like I'm starting to feel like how Tank feel.
What you mean by that?
He's at the top, and he been at the top for years, my nigga. For years. Like, he been doing this shit, ain't nothing new to him, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been getting that real cake, and he been the man. He been that. Yeah. You know, so a lot of us fighters just been like, oh, y'all, he ain't do this. Oh, y'all, he ain't do this. Oh, he ain't move right there. Like, just pointing the finger at how the fuck he want to motherfucking move. But at the end of the day, we not in that motherfucker, we not in that position, so we can't talk about how this motherfucker is moving. And at the end of the day, he the one that's keeping this shit alive after the Floyd generation, after that Floyd shit. He the one that's keeping all these casual fans from my culture in the sport. But niggas is not saying that though. You know what I'm saying? I had to just think about myself like, damn, why the fuck would he want to fight me anyways? Like, why? Just like you said, punch it down. Nigga, when it comes to him, he punching down on everybody, gang.
Right. He the top of the food chain, baby.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, I just had to get mature in this sport too, just looking at niggas that's already that's at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that's at the top, the Canelo, the Terrence Crawfords, the New Ways, and the fucking Javante Davis, right? The big four, the real four kings. Everybody else under him is fucking crabs, gang. Until we get to that point. What are you talking about?
That's a good. What do you think made you get to that realization? Is it like now that you champion and you seeing people?
So it's a very interesting thing. And again, Cigar Talk, great show, phenomenal show. Absolutely, you ever get a chance to look at it, hey, go ahead, shoot. I would love to have that, be in that position where I can have these conversations in the future. Hey, reach out, hit them up, tell them about the show, and get them to, hey, this would be a great opportunity to come through and show what you got on this great platform. Absolutely. Oh, yes, spread the word about it to all you favorite fighters, so we can get them right here on the show, at least in the near future. But no, he's doing phenomenal work on Cigar Talk, getting major fights like Tank, Terrence, all that. Check it out if you can, absolutely. But this is it's a very good conversation to have, because this is a new perspective. When we talk about how champions should move, as he now is he's not at the top, but he's at a mountaintop. He's not at the mountaintop, but he's at a summit. He's not the king, but he's a king. Since he's a king, he now sees what it is like to reign on a throne, getting a new appreciation and understanding of how those that are at the top move, which I get. And I appreciate the new sentiment of looking really as to why people like Tank do what they do. Why would I want to deal with that or him if I'm here? I get it. But there is, while there's valid stuff to that claim, the problem that I think Keyshawn fails to see is that with all those kings that he mentioned, which are the real kings of boxing, in a way, Crawford, Canelo, and Tank, there's one of these things is not like the other. And that's Tank, more specifically, than all of those people. And I'm going to tell you exactly why, but let me real quick read the chat real quick. Let me see. Yo, what's going on, Teddy? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Glad that you're back on the show. Leave a like on the stream if you're here. We're getting ready to get out of here. Absolutely. It's been a phenomenal show. Can't wait to see you go back and look and listen to what we've had to talk about. It's been a great conversation starter. FYI, the audio wasn't working for about the first 5 minutes, so you might want to skip on past that to get to the real intro. But you'll be fine, and you'll want to listen to it outright. But let me see. Late, but by the title, the title says what I think. I don't know who's ducking Butter Punch Haney. And again, now we've had some new information. Teofimo's manager put out that there's some personal stuff going on behind the scenes of all this conversation that we've been having. That is why Teo did not take the fight with Devin Haney. Because of that, he did not go forward with it. He's not at 100% for some reason or another. Whether it's mentally, physically, or both. Personal problems or physical issues, don't know. But he wants to keep it disclosed, per his manager. When time's right, they'll divulge everything, and they'll fight later this year. That's the goal. But as of right now, he's got to handle this stuff. So, with that information, now we can say, okay, we'll pump the brakes for now and say that it's not a duck because of that reasons. Before that, we were calling it a duck, absolutely, or objectively. No question about it. Now, with the new information, okay, we see, one, if all this is true as time goes on. Or two, if this ain't real and it is an excuse to get out of the fight, we'll hold them to that same standard. But we give, with context, we give new perspective. And with new perspective, we give a new outlook. So, we got to, with what we know, we don't call it a duck at this point in time. But still, we're keeping our stuff close to the pulse on whether or not this is indeed true or not. But let me see. I called the fallout between him and Shakur official after the De Los Santos fight. I think, did you? I think you did. Shoot. You might have. I don't remember that. But if you did, hey, credit to you. Pretty close to it, though. Hey, understandable. Tank ain't no king. Just a good boxer with too much hype. Tank loses officially twice. Watch where the fans go like Errol Spence. And here's the thing. One, Errol Spence fans are very vocal and they still want him to fight. They haven't left. Spence just hasn't been back. So Spence's fans have been loyal. They ain't left just because he got beat by Terrence Crawford. That's legitimate. I talk to them all the time. I see them on Twitter everywhere. On most every post. They're somewhere. Spence just ain't been fighting. But there's still a appetite for Spence. Absolutely. Tank. And again, back again, 5 years ago, Spence was a pound for pound great. He was. No question about it. We want to see him back at 154 and be better. We're just waiting on him to return. If he ever does. And if he does, just like with Charlo, we see what he shows and what he's got. If he ain't got it, okay, we say he ain't got it. If he's got it, we say we got it. Hey, glad to see you back. Can't wait to see you at 154. Now work your way back up to a title. Fight Tim Tszyu, fight Bakram, fight all these people. And make it happen. If you are indeed the old Spence that we know. Or a new, potentially better Spence. Who knows? All we know is now the fan base is still there. He just ain't fighting. But there's not many of them left like Wilder's fan. Now that more so that's now Wilder's a better comparison. That's a better comparison to how losses may go with Tank Davis. And I think he's still gonna have a lot of fans. I don't think he's gonna lose that big fan base. It's just more people. There's gonna be a big disparaging type of fan base that go and leave Tank. But he'll still have one of the biggest fan bases in the sport. Absolutely. Layoff gonna be layoff too long. We about to see an AB repeat potentially. Hypothetically, that's what could happen. Then you ain't wrong. That's exactly what could transpire. But I do want to say, in regards to the video that we showed with Keyshawn talking about Tank, when he talks about how those four kings move, in a way, Crawford, Canelo, and Tank, while he now sees why they go through and walk like they walk, Tank is not like those other kings. Because Tank does not walk like they walk. That's the biggest problem with his understanding. It's not a bad understanding, but there's an aspect that he's leaving out because of potentially it just hasn't hit him. But you have to understand the difference with Tank and all of those others. is that all of them are still moving like what their throne is supposed to be like. Tank is not moving like Inoue. Tank is not moving like Terrence Crawford. Tank is not even moving like Canelo. He's not. Tank is dragging his feet more than anybody else of all of them. And most of the names that he named, like with Inoue, like with Crawford, in the early days of Canelo, when they were at the top and or still are at the top, they kept on running through the ringer. Why do you think we talk about Inoue the way that we do? Inoue is unlike almost every other champion in boxing outside of Usyk, Crawford, and Benavidez. From the standpoint of not ducking smoke, he has fought through 1 through 5 in every division that he's gone in and knocked them out or beat them, and has not lowered his level of competition in any way, shape, or form for the entirety of the time of him being champion. The reason why he gets these fights that he's very much overmatching his opponent, like with the Yi Jun Kim fight, was because the fight that was supposed to happen, which was Sam Goodman, got injured again, and then he's fighting Ahmed Ali, a brother who's been said he's been avoiding. He's fighting him. Then he's gonna fight potentially next year, or not potentially, it's gonna happen next year, Nakatani. And so he has not gone through and stopped fighting the top competition. Even though he is at the top, Crawford is still fighting the best of the best on his rise up. And when he got to the top, he still did work. Here's the best analogy I can give you. When everybody that Keyshawn Davis named, Canelo, Inoue, Crawford, and Tank, all were at the same point in time with their career, from the standpoint of at the peak of their notoriety, power, and stardom. Only 3 of them moved the same way. Tank was the only outlier. When every other boxer got to the level that Tank got to, from Inoue, Canelo, and Crawford, they fought the biggest name possible at that stage. They did. Canelo Alvarez, it was Gennady Golovkin. Naoya Inoue, it was Stephen Fulton after the Super Series. Because after the Super Series, he gained stardom, and then he became a real household name. And then boom, Stephen Fulton was the fight that put that brother on the map, going up and chasing and challenging the best that he could, the best in the division, and knocked him out and outboxed him clean, but beat him. But he fought him immediately in his first fight in the new division, when he reached that same summit that Tank is at. Canelo, like I said, Triple G. Crawford, L. Spence. Once he got to, okay, it's my time, he took it. And then afterwards, he went and fought Madrimov at 154 in his first fight and won. And now he went, and now he's going to try to fight Canelo at 168. No matter how ludicrous you may think that fight is, you can't look at that track record of when they reached their peak of being, you are one of the it guys in the sport. You are one of the crown kings. They did not operate the way that Tank is operating. When Tank got to Tank's level of stardom, where he's at right now, one of the biggest names in the sport, one of the 4 faces of this sport outright, which is true. That's what he is. He did not move at all. He regressed. This fight with Lamont Roach should not be happening again, let alone it shouldn't have happened at all, because of where he should have been fighting, which was Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, before he retired, officially as of yesterday or today, one of the two. Or 140 with Tio, or Devin Haney, or Ryan Garcia, or Richardson Hitchens, or even Cambosos, Sabrina Matias. So many. A rematch with Isaac Cruz. So many fights. He did not move an inch in any way, shape, or form once he got to that same zenith. They are not kings sitting on the same throne. And everybody's throne is not as grand as the other for a good reason. Because the three of them are actually doing work while Tank ain't doing nothing. Tank is operating against what you're supposed to do and what most of the top dogs are doing at that division. Canelo, of recent, I understand. But on the whole, when Canelo was the sole it guy, he didn't move like that. He didn't. Crawford, when he got to that stage, he didn't move like that. He moved like a champion. In a way. I don't need to say anything because in a way is in a way. It speaks for itself what he's done, which is everything. Two-time undisputed. One belt that he won. That's Tank. The rest of the other three are two-time undisputed champions. Lineal. Two of them are undefeated. Going up against top caliber competition. Another one's one of the greatest Mexican boxers in history. And one of the greatest boxers, period, of all time. All three of them are one of the greatest boxers of all time. And they are at the top of this era in the sport. For this standpoint in time. Tank is nothing like that. But he's at the top. There's an outlier for a good reason. You understand it. Because you see, it is easy for me to reign and stay champ and not have to do anything. That's what he's recognized. He sees how, he talks about how all of them move. But the bigger thing that he really is getting enlightened on is he now understands how easy it is to stay at the top without having to do the work. He's not going to do that. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord. But he now sees, it's really easy now that I can call the shots to not have to do anything and still be in this same throne. Why fight them? Why mess around and fight these people? These crabs, as again Keyshawn says. Because I'm at the top of the mountain. He's looking down and he now understands this is what it means to be able to be in a position of power. What he doesn't understand is how they use it versus how Tank uses it is not the same use. Hopefully he follows in a way Crawford and Canelo's uses and not Gervonta Davis's use. Because Tank Davis's throne is a throne built more so on hype than actual substance. It's more so built on I can do what I want. I have the power. Rather than using that power to show you got power. Not from the standpoint of, just making whatever fights you want. We're talking using that power to go and fight the best. And then make your throne bigger and better and grander. Because now you got record. You got rapport. You got, you have the spoils of war that you adorn your stuff with. Tank ain't got that. It's all self-made gold, but not gold from the enemy's camp. Everything Tank got is what Tank got. Everything the other people have, they took from others and added it to their throne. That's the difference. Their thrones are bloody. Their thrones got bodies. Their thrones got heads on spikes. Their throne is damaged. Their thrones are worn. Their throne got skulls. Their thrones got the flags of the kingdoms that they beat torn up. And their flag is also torn up. But guess what? It's flying higher than ever. And they use their own equipment to use their enemies' spoils to adorn themselves with how good, with their accolades. Tank ain't doing it. Tank is a product of his own design, literally. He ain't a product of what he's beaten. He looks good. The throne looks good, but there's no substance when you actually take a look at it. That's the problem. Tank ain't like the other kings. Tank ain't like those kings. Tank ain't proving that he's a real king. He's making more money, sure. But as a king, people are starting to see, hey, buddy, your kingdom's a facade. Once it falls, buddy, you ain't getting back up, I promise you. I guarantee you, because you ain't taking the test that need be to prove that you deserve to stay on that throne for longer. And so, let me see, don't forget Spence only lost once, and he probably has a quarter of fans left. He loses again. Watch, again, Spence's fans aren't gone. But because he's not here, they're quiet. Again, most people ain't disrespecting Spence. Most people, even if they aren't Spence dedicated fans, are still looking and saying, hey, we want Spence to come back. I want Spence to come back. I'm excited to see him come back at 154. I was excited for him when he was going to fight Sebastian Fundora. Initially, I was excited for him. Most people just want to see him back in the ring. That's their biggest thing. They don't hate him. They didn't go away. He's just not there. Charlo fans, they just weren't existent because he wasn't there. Now that Jamal Charlo's back, they're back out in the woodwork. Hey, he's back. Let's see what you got at 160. Canelo, we coming for you. So it's like, it's absence, but it's not. It's absence, but it's not apathy. That's the difference. And so Tank makes people stars by giving him, Tank makes people stars by giving him a good fight because his name made Eastside Cruz Pitbull and made Ryan Garcia look better than he is. Now, Ryan was already a big star before ever that Tank fight. Tank never had a bigger gate or a bigger revenue for any fight without Ryan Garcia. Ryan was also the reason that fight was huge because he was already a mega star. Genuine, he was already a mega star. So Tank didn't make Ryan. That fight helped make an explosion. But both people were already bombs ready to explode. But he did help Eastside Cruz get back into the limelight. But he never gave him a second opportunity. When people said, let's see this fight again. So, goes to show, he really ain't about it. I'm not in the Inoue campaign until he fights out of Japan and Americans other than Schoolboy Stuff. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, hold on a second. Now, time out now. Time out. Wait a minute. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Inoue fought in America 2 weeks ago. He fought in Las Vegas in front of a sold-out crowd against a Mexican, Roman Cardenas, in one of the best wars that we have in boxing this year. A legitimate Fight of the Year contender. And he knocked him out after getting knocked down. Social media was only focused on him for about 3 days. He set records in terms of what that fight did virally. He made everybody a believer on that night. And he did it in the States for the 4th time. This time for the first time, because the others were in COVID, amongst a full crowd. A full Mexican crowd, Mike. One of the more passionate fan bases in all of boxing. And he put on that type of performance. But he turned that crowd into his fans. It's insane. It's not. In a way, he did it. He did exactly what you did. He did exactly what you wanted him to do. He beat an American. He beat a great fighter in the States. He's done that 3 times or 4 times now. And he's beaten every one of the best in his divisions for four times. And gotten undisputed twice. I don't know what else needs to be done. There's no American that is at the top of his division. There's no American at bantamweight that is better than him. There's no American at super bantamweight that's better than him. There's no American at 126 that's better than him. Well, you think it's going to be a different story if he fights against Stephen Fulton at 126? I don't think so. I don't. And it's like, even at the top of that, it's, Espinosa? Lopez, who are the champions at 126? Champions at 126, it's Espinosa, it's Fulton, it is Espinosa, I should know this. Espinosa, Fulton, Nick Ball, Who's that fourth one? Who's the fourth champion 126? Let me give me a second. Give me a second. Espinosa, Fulton, Nick Ball, Angelo Leah. Those are the four. And then Bruce Carrington at 8. Bruce don't put Bruce in the ring in a way. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. Don't put Bruce Carrington in that fight. Because if you want a star to stop, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that. No, sir. You don't want that. Because then you'll ruin the star. You'll ruin the star. I'm not saying Bruce can't give a good fight. But if we see anyway dominate him like he dominated almost every other opponent he's faced off against. Mind you, Roman Cardenas gave him a great war. Roman Cardenas also fought at 130 in the past. Don't forget that. Since coming back down to 122, he's been one of the more destructive super bantamweights in the world. Getting knocked out in 4 of his last 5 fights, or at least 3 of his last 4 fights. And he fought at 130 and 126 before coming down to 122. So he's already carrying bigger power coming down in weight. Don't put Bruce Carrington in that. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. Don't put anybody in the ring with him. Because Bruce, shoot. I don't care where you from, American or not. Bruce ain't ready for that. He ain't. 7-4 now. He still loses, in my estimation. There's nobody you can consequently say is better than anyone. Right now, across divisions, across weight classes that he's currently fluctuating in. American or not. And he's done everything you need to do. And he did it in the States, here, with the crowd that was against him. So I'm like, if you ain't sold on anyway now, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. The proof is literally in the pudding. He is the very opposite of what we call out Tank for. He's doing it. He's fighting everybody at their class, at their best. And he's being tested. And he's coming out still pure gold. I don't know what else to prove it. I don't know what else he needs to do. I don't know. I really just, and I was like, with the risk that he's taking, he should have lost a while ago. But the buddy's just that good that he keeps on winning. Because he's that dominant. He's that special. I guess it's the weight class. I just don't care about the really little guys. And I get it. But I'm telling you, those are where the best boxers are. Most of the best boxers, from a talent perspective, they're in no smaller weight class. Absolutely. Roach about to knock him out too. Now he's more comfortable at that weight too. Now that's going to be exciting. That's going to be interesting. Boy. Now, I do expect Tank to be better. Absolutely. I expect Tank to be better than what he was in the first fight against Lamont Roach. No question. But still, I'm telling you, Tank is going to come out as a different beast. But Lamont, I think it's going to be better. Because Lamont now can build off of what worked the last time. He can. And Tank, I think adaptations aren't going to be as easy as they were or as he's been able to do the majority of the time. And I don't think he's going to get the benefit of the doubt this time that he was afforded the last time. If it does come down to a decision and it's close again, I don't think so. And so it's going to be interesting. It's built like like this Ellaby, excuse me, Leonard Ellaby. And so the Floyd with the strategy, yep, we've covered that multiple times. He actually doesn't look good to me. He loses the most rounds and gets the KO. Again, Tank's whole mantra, he builds for the KO. He doesn't look to win rounds. He looks to win the fight. His whole fight game is predicated on, by round 7 to 9, I know how to knock you out, and I knock you out. Plain and simple. I know how to beat you, and I beat you. I got enough power to catch you, and I catch you. But he'll lose rounds intentionally to understand the game plan to lay it out in the second half of the fight, or at least after round 4. That's what he fights like. So he's not bad. It takes a special person to be able to do that and be this consistent with being dominant. So no, his talent is real. Our issue is the opposition that he just doesn't want to face off against. That's the problem. Okay, make the argument after his second loss. And again, if he loses, we gonna see. I have no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with that. If Tank loses, great. Phenomenal. If Tank loses, great. Get up and now test yourself against everybody. Do it, because you can't run no more. You got to fight him now. We won't take anything less than you fighting against Devin Haney, against Tio, against Ryan, again, against Isak, again, against Keyshawn Davis. Now, do it. Shakur, go. Because you're lost. I don't know what you're protecting anymore. Go make it happen. It might be better if he loses. And also it could be that if he loses, he doesn't fight again. His words, not mine. So it's like, because he said his pride can't take it. So it's if he loses, great. I'm all for it. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see. But again, like we said before, it's find out season. We don't care about what we think you can do. Do it. That's all we care about. You do it and you make it happen. No question. I'm saying he made Ryan look better than Ryan is. Okay. I don't think I agree with it. Because Ryan got beat exactly how I thought he was going to get beat. He didn't make him look better. It was just Ryan wasn't the Ryan that we see now. But Ryan fought like we thought he was going to fight. Tank handled him like somebody who's a better fighter. And we're like, yep, Ryan Garcia wasn't ready for it. And he got stopped like we thought would happen. So I don't agree with this. I don't think it made him look better. Because I wasn't walking away saying, Ryan, oh wow, you put on a better performance than I expected. Ryan got beat like I thought he was going to get beat. In the fashion that I thought he was going to get beat. So I was like, I don't think it made him look better. It just, we got the fight. That was the biggest thing. We just wanted to make the fight. Absolutely. I meant Tank made Ryan live up to being better than he was. Ryan had the hype. Okay, I see what you're saying. But I still think the same thing applies. Ryan had the hype. Absolutely. Tank had hype. They both fought. Fans wanted it. Tank beat him like we thought he would beat him. I don't think Ryan came out looking better after that performance. It was just, okay, he's not experienced yet. Or he's not nearly as smart. He's got to get better technically. And be more nuanced in his offense. He showed some good stuff, but it wasn't like, oh, wow, the right hand that landed maybe twice. That was his best weapon that he should have been able to use more. Ooh, that's something, oh my gosh. At least for me, I wasn't thinking it that way. You may watch your point, I'm a casual anyway. In weight class, I'm here. I watch him here and there. And again, I'm not trying to jump on anybody. I'm not trying to demean or say, oh, how dare you. But it's just like if you don't know, you don't know. It's perfectly fine if you don't know. Don't take my word for it. Go watch his fights coming up, or even just go watch his last 3 fights. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see what I'm saying when it comes to a dominant fighter that is consistently elevating his game. Some stuff I can't sell people on. Casual or not, no matter where. You got to see it for yourself in some instances. And for this one, this is a fighter I would highly encourage. If you just heard about him and you think he might be overhyped and overrated, that's understandable. Take some time and go watch him. Just take some time. And I think it will show you why he has the reputation that he has. And so it's no problem. Let me see. But I'm listening to you preach though. Preach. Hey, look, it's all good. I'm just here to help. You don't gotta agree. You don't have to agree. We're just trying to help paint a new perspective to help you be better informed. That's all. And so let's see. That second loss comment was about Spence. He's still at 1 loss and 3 year layoff. Okay, thank you. Clean it up a little bit more. So if he loses again, we'll see whether or not his fan base really does stick around or not. Understandable. Absolutely. We can agree to disagree. I expected to KO him in round 1. I thought he was a YouTube and Instagram fighter. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people had that sentiment. I saw the fight when he got knocked down. Okay, yeah. I think you're talking about Ryan Garcia against Campbell. So I understand. I get it. It was a sentiment for a lot of people. And so, understandable, justifiable. And again, we can have this conversation more, but we are 3 hours into this show, and I did not expect to go this long. My goodness. We had 6 people stay here the whole time for a 3 hour and 24-minute show. My goodness. This was great. Oh, this was phenomenal. This was incredible. But I think we got to call it. We got to call it and get ready to head on out of here. Let me make sure there ain't no audio being played on the thing. Hopefully ain't nothing, nothing's been playing in the background. Please don't let anything be playing in the background. This was a very good show. We did so much stuff. It's been so great. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. All right, so yeah. But now we got to wrap it up. I'm sitting at home because I got stuff I got to do, and we got to go through and talk. Oh, you meant the last fight you saw was the fight when Inoue got knocked down. Ah, okay. Understandable. Was this the Lewis Neary fight, or was this the fight that he had over the last 2 weekends ago? Are you talking about the knockdown in his most recent fight, or the knockdown against Lewis Neary a good couple months ago over in Japan? And to help me get a better picture, because he's been knocked down twice. Yes. However, in both instances, after getting knocked down. Okay, the old one. Okay, yes, the old one. So you're talking about the Lewis Neary one. Okay, so to help give some context on why that fight was impressive, Lewis Neary was a fighter that got banned in Japan. Lewis Neary was a legitimate villain for the entire country. I believe he had been disrespectful. He had also knocked out one of Japan's favorite fighters. He was a legitimate champion. Is still a legitimate, it was a legitimate contender. Is still incredibly strong. But he had done something to get him legitimately banned from being able to fight over there. The country lifted the ban in order for Inoue to fight him. Just for Inoue to knock him out and get revenge. Lewis Neary knocks him down with the left hook. Absolutely. Catches him. Oh my gosh, I ain't never seen Inoue knocked down before. Seen him hurt. Like against Donaire. Never saw him knocked down. He got up. The next round, he knocks him down. The next round, within like the first minute, knocks him down immediately. And then afterwards, systematically dissects Lewis Neary in a manner that no other bantamweight across the division had been able to do in that fashion, and stayed in the pocket of one of the most destructive fighters in the world and made him look like an amateur. And then literally, when he knocked him out officially, he knocked him out in a way that made him look like he got shot in the head. I'm so serious. Like a sniper put a bullet through his eyes and he went slump. In one of the wildest short left hand, I believe it was a short right hand that I had ever seen. That's why the knockdown wasn't bad, but it was impressive. Because it's not about how you get down when you get hurt. Because we've seen Terrence Crawford get hurt. We've seen David Benavidez get knocked down. Shoot, we just saw Tank Davis take a knee. We've seen Usyk hurt to the body. We've seen Canelo be put on the ropes. We've seen Floyd Mayweather wobbled against Shane Mosley. We've seen Manny Pacquiao knocked out before and knocked down. It's not about just the knockdown. It's about how you respond and what you're able to do in the face of adversity, especially when you're at your lowest. When it should be, oh shoot, he's ready to go. Sugar Ray Leonard got knocked down from a fighter that wasn't even marvelous Marvin Hagler. Like, he's been hurt bad before against not one of the 4 kings of his era. And he came out and it was still, oh my gosh, Ray Leonard's still one of them beasts. Because when he got up, brother, he turned into a monster. This is what we're saying about why Inoue is so impressive. Because in every aspect, he has passed with flying colors. Every aspect. Including, how do you respond when you're hurt? How do you respond when you've been knocked down? How do you respond when you're in trouble? And every question ends with the same answer. He knocks out his opponent. And he never makes the same mistake again after it happens in a fight. It's been the same thing 3 times, or 2 times, rather. 3 times we want to count when he beat Nonito Donaire and got hurt. It's never been a different answer. At every single point that those questions have been asked against opponents that we all deem as, yeah, this brother's good. And Inoue did that to him. That's why his ability is so incredible. Because it's not just that, he's knocking people out. It's the skill set, the talent, the complete combination of elite type of boxing ability at every framework. On top of the pound for pound level power that is amongst the best in the whole sport. And the resume that he's garnered against former champions and legitimate, constant, dominant contenders for his entire career that has not once wavered in their rigidness of constant opposition being at a top level. He has been the standard for what a champion should be for the past 3 years and has been consistently, from a talent perspective, the best boxer from my standpoint in the world. Pound for pound, Usyk, number 1. Many people have it, understandable. Terrence Crawford might have him above him, understandable. He's within that range. For my money, he's number 2. And for a talent-wise, strictly on how they fight, he's number 1. But his ability against every single level of top caliber talent from every single style of boxer that is at the best of that talent and of that type of style, it's been the same result. It's been the same result. And you can't throw him off his game once he switches into that 5th gear. And so it's incredible. It's phenomenal. And what was this thing? And the last thing about it, because I know we got to wrap it up. He, in terms of Inoue, he's a fighter who how do we say this? I want to make sure I say this right. Inoue is a fighter who his best stuff comes after you show that you're good. We compare him, there was a fighter back in the day named Salvador Sanchez. Sadly lost his life before he could even reach the best of his prime. But what is, even with only 23 or so fights in his career, garnered as, outside of Julio Cesar Chavez, the greatest Mexican boxer in history. This man, Mike Tyson said it best about him. If you were an average fighter against Salvador Sanchez, you were going to go the distance. He would win. He'd dominate. But you're going to go the distance. But if you were a great fighter against Salvador Sanchez, you're not seeing the final bell because you're getting knocked out. That's what Mike Tyson said about Salvador Sanchez. Salvador Sanchez, if you were good, he got better. If you were average, he was still great, but he just beat you. You were better off being an average fighter fighting Salvador. Because by proxy of you being an average fighter, okay, he would just beat you and do whatever. If you were a great fighter, he would knock you out and make you look like a fool because you were one of them ones. He fought up to the level of his opponent. And when his opponent was great, all of a sudden you saw why, Salvador's a different breed. This brother ain't what we thought. He's better. That's what Mike Tyson said about Salvador Sanchez. That's what we see with Inoue. But the difference is, Inoue, if you're average, he will blow through you. He will knock you out clean and destroy you in less than 5 rounds. He won't let you survive. But if you're great, he'll beat you in a manner that not only shows that he's better, not only will he still knock you out, but he will render your boxing style so obsolete that you will look like you never belonged in the ring. Genuine. You'll look like you never belonged in the ring. He will, think about it. When Roman Cardenas showed that he was better than what he expected, and he knocked him down and caught him, all of a sudden, as the rounds went on, Inoue got better and better. Not just out of necessity, but because that switch flipped. And when that switch flipped, he took away Cardenas' hook. He took away Cardenas' uppercut. All of a sudden, when punches were landing on Inoue after the knockdown, Inoue started walking through them. He wasn't just getting rocked by him. He was walking through them. He wasn't just turning his head to cheapen the blow, but he was walking through some of the clean hooks that came after the knockdown. And then made it so that he made Cardenas' hooks not touch him by round 7. Because now I baited you out. Now I am going to fight harder to show you why I'm better than you. And still knocked him out same way. Like he knocks out an average guy. But he did it in a manner that by the time Cardenas got knocked out, he looked like he was beaten fully. He showed some great heart, no question. We applaud the performance, no question about it. But by the end of the fight, the consensus was Inoue took away every single one of Cardenas' skill sets and rendered them down into soup and threw the soup out. Because I don't need that. Because I'm just that good. That's how good Inoue is. It's a different breed of caliber. It's a different threshold of talent. And we can talk about it more tomorrow. Absolutely, because we got a show tomorrow. No question about it. But this is why I call this man a myth. Louis Neary, same thing. Once he got knocked down, Louis Neary all of a sudden looked like he was in mud. Not because he was moving slower, but because Inoue was moving faster. And Inoue started seeing things 3 to 5 steps before Louis Neary was even trying to throw. Inoue was beating him to the punch so much, Louis Neary got scared to throw at one point in time. And then he turned into desperation and started swinging wild. And Inoue would just simply weave back like Shakur, get back in the fray. Boom, looping hook into a right hand, jab it to a straight, jab it to a straight, naked straight, uppercut, get you to the ropes, walk you down, weave back again, look you dead in the eye, hit you to the body, hit you to the head, taunt you, talk to you, goad you into doing something. I dare you, while beating you up. After he got hurt, he's a myth. He's a myth. He's not a monster. He's a myth. He's not a monster. He's beyond a monster. He's beyond what we can categorize as domination. He transcends what it means to be a mythical figure. Because he actually does exist, but he doesn't make sense as to how he exists. It shouldn't be that this is somebody that is actually in today's boxing game. It shouldn't be. But he's here. And he makes everybody, no matter how good they are, look the exact same way. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Your favorite fighter studies him. Tank respects him. Tank don't respect nobody. Tank don't respect nobody. But he respects Inoue. He don't respect nobody, but he respects Inoue. He don't think anybody would give him a good fight, but he says, Inoue, brother, that'll be something serious. It's not. I'm telling you. Ain't nobody like Naoya Inoue. I'm so serious. And we're looking at one of the greatest fighters of all time unfold right before our eyes. I'm so serious. I promise you. I promise you. He's just that good. He's so good that he doesn't make sense. He's so good that he's unbelievable. Hence why he's not a monster. He's a myth. Because you can't believe what you're witnessing. Every day I keep seeing something new. It's ridiculous. It's insane. But again, we can talk about that more later on in the show tomorrow, because we got to get at it. We really do. So with all that being said, now this has been officially another episode of The Welch with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate your time and effort and energy tuning in today. It's been a very productive show. Thank you all for staying all the way till the end. It's been great. It's been phenomenal. We hit a record high, 18 people. Can we get 20 tomorrow? It's going to be great. Be sure to like the stream before you leave. Comment your thoughts and opinions on what you liked about the stream, or just thoughts on whatever you have in the chat section or in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post on YouTube. And also share the show with everybody you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together all across the social media platforms. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We're also going to be on every podcasting platform imaginable. This episode is going to be aired right after it comes, after we end the stream. And we're going to do what we do best, which is rock, shine, and be here tomorrow, because we're going to have a fan-driven show. Friday's episode, you all control the whole thing. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we're going to talk about, absolutely. Get ready for the NBA Finals tonight. We're going to have more stuff with boxing and beyond to talk about tomorrow, and so much more all the time as we do the show. Rate us 5 stars on every podcasting platform. And we'll see y'all next time. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we all right here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on tomorrow.